Go.
Hello, hello. We live? We're live.
You're not muted this time, are you?
I am not muted. That's insane.
Okay.
Oh
That
my God.
That never happened.
Finally, a non-scuffed start to a podcast. Yo, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to another Helldivers Experience podcast brought to you by the two most handsome and experienced Helldivers ever. And Eravin.
Hi.
Eravin, you're also handsome. What do you think, Pips?
Absolutely. Look at him. Those blue eyes.
I know.
They'll mesmerize you, bro.
He does have the blue eyes, dude. He like,
yeah.
What color are your eyes, Pips? Brown? Yeah, we're both muddy eyes.
Just average eyes, you know.
It doesn't work.
I guarantee you, Evan, you have blue eyes in real life.
I have special eyes.
God, I knew it, man. I knew it.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we've got a very special episode because every episode is special. We're going to be talking about the new patch, new Warbond, stuff like that. We will talk about some of the stealth nerfs and changes, like the HMG durable damage change. And we actually have some messages from Pilestat saying they'll be taking a look at that. So it's very possible it was unintended. Then we will be talking about the squish, how squishy the Helldivers are feeling. And Eravin has some numbers based on changes you didn't know were happening. And then we'll probably talk about some more stuff beyond that. I have some other Pilestat messages for stuff that might be coming in the next patch. And then we'll cook up a quick primary weapon tier list, democracy style. We will each vote on it. And it'll be funny to see where things end up. And you guys can always get the more detailed primary weapon tier lists on our own channels, because you never know, like, what if we disagree on something and it ends up in a spot where it shouldn't?
Yeah, it's going to be funny. Yeah.
So with that being said, before we start, check out the channel sponsor, Instant Gaming. You guys already know I always shout them out on the channel. If you guys still haven't picked up Space Marine 2, they've got some awesome big patch dropping next month with more operations. You could get it for $10 off. And there's plenty of other games on this website for super, super cheap. And honestly, the best thing about this website is picking up old games like the original Helldivers. You can get the deluxe edition, which includes all the weapon packs, for only $5. Or like another classic game, Skyrim, you could get for $10 on this website. So check out Instant Gaming. That's in the description. Use my link. Okay? All right, so this Helldivers patch cooked, didn't it? Didn't it, guys? What do you guys think?
Yes, it did. Yeah, for sure. Like, it was something that we really needed. It was something that the community really wanted. And I'm happy they listened, man. Like, the game's fun again. Obviously, there are people that are going to be complaining about the buffs because they don't like fun. But, you know, the numbers don't lie. And that's all you got to do, right? Like, right there, whatever is above us right now, you screenshot that shit and you send it to him. And you don't even say anything. Just leave it. And that's it, yeah. I think the patch was great. The game is definitely... It's the variety for me personally, right? Like, the variety of builds. You are going in and, like, I can bring in heavy machine gun or a flamethrower or whatever it is, and I can just have fun with whatever I want. And I have the chance to clear the mission, which I always did, obviously, because the missions are easy. But now I have the chance to fight back. You know what I mean? What do you think, Eravin?
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Wait, Eravin, I want to ask you first. What is the most fun loadout for you this patch? The most fun, not the best, just the most fun.
Most fun for me right now is just the recoilless rifle on the bots.
Oh, thank God you said that. I agree.
Also happens to be the best as well.
I agree.
Yeah, recoilless looks insane. Recoilless is very good on the bugs as well. Like, it's overall just such a good pick.
Like, having a delete key is kind of insane. And like, I don't think I've been as happy as I was in a while when I, the other day, jumped at the belly of a factory strider with my recoilless, yelled belly rub, and then killed it instantly. I was
goofy.
Pretty happy about that.
Wait, is that... Did you start the belly rub thing? Because I shot one in the stomach earlier, and some people in chat were saying belly rub.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, the proof is in the pudding. It turns out
Yep.
you make the weapons feel good to shoot, and people want to shoot them. If you look at the Steam numbers since the patch dropped, the lowest player count we got so far was 21K, and in the past month, the highest player count we got was 30K. But even the low last night was 35. So the numbers are starting to return, and this is a balance patch. Like, this isn't even a big content drop, but it feels like it. Like, because there's so much stuff to do now. Like, I don't know. I just feel like one thing I like is laser maxing, right? As tough as it can be to still run the Scythe on bugs, even though it does kill the bugs pretty fast, but, you know, it has no stagger. So, like, sometimes they just run at you, especially decapitated warriors. But, no, dude, like, it feels like the game is fresh. I could do fun and interesting and cool things.
Yeah, I agree.
Eravin, did you have a comment on what you think about the patch overall?
Well, it's exactly what you're talking about, right? Like, you make the guns fun to shoot, and people actually want to shoot them. The proof of that is, like, look at Tenderizer before. You know, like, we actually always said Tenderizer is a pretty good gun. We like Tenderizer. The numbers aren't that great, but we like Tenderizer. And it's like, well, why is that? It's because it actually feels good to shoot.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes, is making the guns feel good to shoot.
And it's the variety, right? Variety. Like, as I was saying, like, you just mix and match so many good loadouts now, and it's honestly just feels like a completely different game. In my opinion, this even feels better than when the game launched in terms of the variety, because back then we didn't have all of these items that we do now. So now you have so many different tools that you can use, man. And I'm also like, I'm not. We're gonna get to the Warbond separately, I guess, but there's a bunch of cool playstyles that I'm really enjoying right now. So yeah, it's been a blast.
I don't think I've spent this much time sitting on the loadout screen before.
Yep. Just
really?
thinking.
Like, actually thinking about what I want to bring, because I could bring so many different things and not feel like I'm just basically nerfing myself by not picking something in the top class.
Okay, but I'll be honest with you. For the bug side, I agree with you. For the bot side, I'm not sitting in the loadout screen. I'm picking recoilless rifle. If it's so good, it's so good.
Been picking recoilless a lot. It's hard for me to pick anything other than recoilless. I started playing with the AMR though, and like I'm known as a world-class AMR hater, and just having the scope actually align now and functioning the way it's supposed to, I don't know. I kind of like it a lot more than I did. It turns out you just make a gun feel good to shoot, and I want to use it, like I said.
It cooks chargers too, Erwin. Fucking cooks them, man. It's good.
All right, Jack with the $5 says, "Hi Thick, hi Jack. Have you guys noticed that the railgun can two-shot Bile Titans at 95% charge? I tested it on like 6 full health Titans last night. Every time they change the railgun, Jack, they always mess with the charge a little bit. I remember last patch, it got its max damage at, I think, 90% charge. So if it gets its max damage at 95% charge now, I haven't noticed that. But even regardless, at 3 shots Bile Titans, the railgun is insane.
It's good. It's very good now.
Throw some emotes in the chat for Jack. Yo, thank you, Jack. Dominican Charingan with the $2 says, Eravin.
I think that's W Eravin.
Oh, I thought it was Eravin. Yeah, dude. One thing, actually, Jack, it's a good thing you bring up the railgun. One thing I will say, I'll be the first to admit it. Some of our speculation, well, at least some of my speculation streams, but also some of the stuff we were talking about on the previous podcasts about some of, like, when they proposed these changes, like, the way they made a lot of these changes out to seem, it seemed like the railgun was going to be the most broken thing ever. It seemed like the autocannon was going to be the best gun in the game. But, like, the way they actually implemented these changes were really good. So one thing I'll say about the railgun specifically is they were very misleading with it, because they did make it have insane durable damage now, but they capped its armor pen at 5 now. Like, what did it used to charge up to? 7?
7.
Yeah. So they capped its armor pen at 5, meaning against, like, tanks and against any heavy armored enemies, it does half the damage. Rival, thank you for the $9.99. Throwing some IRL super credits to 3 of the best content creators out there. Yeah, I appreciate it, Rival. Can we get some more emotes in the chat, please? Is Rival from your chat, Pips?
He's everywhere.
I know
he's a real
Rival
one.
is everywhere.
He's in my I know Rival's in my streams too, but it seemed like you recognized him.
Yeah, I do, of course. Dude, I remember we had this conversation about like the railgun, and I had this like a little bit of almost similar thing with some other games that I was covering, where they would make some shit like that, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be insane. But those guys did the same. So they increased the HP, and we were having this conversation. I was like, that sounds crazy, but what if they increased the HP? Like in my head, it was stuck with me that they could have done that, and I'm happy they did.
Yeah.
Because imagine all the fucking complaining from the people that don't like fun when this would one-shot shit, bro. Can you even? Oh my god, dude, they would fucking run to the to Arrowhead Studios. They would lose their shit. So yeah, they did it really well. I agree, really well.
We could get into that conversation too. Go ahead,
everybody. The way things worked out was definitely the best it could have. But I will mention that I feel like their PR speak, there was a little bit too much PR speak in the patch notes still for me. I noticed the trend.
Yeah,
I know, but I noticed a trend where they were very proud to talk about numbers when it was something positive, and then if it was something that anyone could ever construe as something negative, they kept it like words and as many words as physically possible so people wouldn't read it. Like I've had to tell so many people this week that the enemy's health going up is in the patch notes. You just have to read a paragraph to know about it.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, they understood that the last thing they needed was some kind of negative emotion from the community, because like I've talked about this before, and I think the momentum was so against them because it was a very untrustworthy kind of energy around them, right? Like nobody trusted them. So everybody was like waiting for, oh, you heard what they said? If they had said right there, oh, we're increasing the HP before we tested it, bro, it would have gone south real quick.
It might have, but
yeah.
Also, it worked out for the best, but they have a history of doing this, and then like when it does turn out to be something that people aren't happy with, it makes it even worse.
It was a
with the flamethrower thing, putting that in the miscellaneous changes, and then like
dude,
everyone flipped out. Like if this health increase ended up being like a really big deal and really bad for the game, then it would have been cataclysmic. So they definitely
100%.
doubled down with the PR speak there. I don't know if I would have done the same.
It was risky. It was risky.
I don't want to. I was gonna comment on the flamethrower thing, but that's just old. That's just rehashing old stuff, so I'm not going to. One thing I wanted to mention that Pips you mentioned was increasing the HP pools. So first thing I'll say is increasing the HP pools. There was a couple oversights. Like someone in chat mentioned OPS can no longer one-shot tanks. I'm pretty sure it can, but because of that, I think if it lands in certain spots, it doesn't sometimes. Have any of you guys one-shot a tank? Or Eravin, have you used orbital precision strike on tanks?
OPS is...
It has enough damage on it. I've looked at the stratagem.
Right?
It's AP 7.
AP 7.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Then
it's projectile loaded.
If it has enough damage, then it can kill.
I think it's projectile really loaded. The explosion does less. The explosion itself doesn't do enough.
There's still a bunch of inconsistencies though, man. Like this morning also, like was testing a lot of like same railgun against the Bow Titans, right? And you're hitting the same area, but like sometimes it will, and it looks like the charging is the same, and sometimes most times I will say it's 3 shots, but then it's like 7 shots out of nowhere.
Really? And I haven't experienced that.
I don't know if it's a console thing. I couldn't tell you. I'm not saying that it's like every other kill, but we've definitely had a few ones where it didn't kill in 3 or even 4, and sometimes on 5, but then it would go to 6. Weird.
Pips, do you think it might be a skill issue?
Highly.
You know, there were actually some stratagems though that won out on the damage versus enemy health scaling increases.
Yeah,
and actually came out on top. Like orbital laser actually now clears through groups of hulks relatively quickly. fries tanks
I could tell
relatively
you
quickly in entire groups of things as well.
So I tested orbital laser very early on, and I've tested it patch to patch. For every patch before this one, it killed a single Bile Titan and had basically nothing left over after that. It now kills a Bile Titan. Okay, I don't know exactly how much, but it kills a Bile Titan in like half the orbital laser now.
Yeah.
So it's like twice, I would say it's twice as much damage effectively this patch.
It definitely
need to
feels
lower
like
the
twice
cooldown,
the
though.
laser it used to be.
Cooldown is doo-doo.
I think it's fine as it is. The other winner I've noticed is the strafing run, which now pops fabs and you get 5 of them.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. The fabricator change has been pretty cool.
Yep.
Oh, the thing I wanted to say about increasing the HP pools that I like is that they drastically increased the HP pools of the heavies, but they also drastically increased like the anti-tanks and the the heavy stratagems like OPS and orbital laser are way stronger now. One thing I really like about that is because with the old HP pools and the old damage, is it was really weird when you would shoot a recoilless into like a brood commander body and it just doesn't die. Yeah, because they were all scaled down weird, but now it does. So like that's cool. Yeah. Or like one thing I noticed, me and Clay were doing a disposables game where we were using like commando and eats. You can kill stalkers with a single commando, which is actually kind of handy if you're using that. Which I don't think it would have last patch.
Stalkers are dying faster in general, though. I don't know if they did anything specific, but some weapons are just destroying. Like the Scythe is just melting them.
The Scythe
got changed, but
the Scythe is good for stuff like that because it's a continuous beam. So you end up hitting their face easier with the Scythe.
Yeah. And the burn starting really early now.
Yeah.
It's even if you like hit the stalker and you don't kill him, the burn it pretty much affects like the flamethrower. You might not kill him instantly, but the burn makes them run away. You know how they just jump away because it's ticking, so they go invis and jump away. It's pretty cool. I like Scythe.
Yeah. Did they decrease the stalker health pool? Stalkers have 800 total health now. Didn't they have 1,000?
I don't know. It feels like they get slapped around easier though.
You know what? You know what it is? It's the armor change. Them taking 65% damage from light weapons now instead of 50.
The website says stalkers have all 1 armor.
Their bodies have 2.
It says their whole. Oh yeah. The bodies do have 2.
Yeah, it's hard to see it there, but yeah, their bodies have level 2 armor. So what people are probably feeling there is just their light weapons are dealing 65% damage now instead of 50.
Yeah, true.
To the body.
Definitely something's going on. I don't know what it is, but I've been shredding them.
Oh, thoughts on stalker noises? Low key, the stalkers should be
cool.
It's so good.
Low key, stalkers should be easier to deal with since they do make those noises now, but they actually are way more scary for some reason. Because it's like you just know that one's lurking.
Noises.
Yeah.
They're like right fucking there. It's just so scary, and especially if there's more than one though. But it is super fun. Those kind of things make the quality of life better of the game. 100%.
Yeah, it makes it more immersive
doing that. Yeah, much more immersive for sure.
Eravin, Nakoni in chat says Eravin has to use a VTuber because his walls are covered in patch notes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Anything else stand outish about the patch? I should have taken some notes ahead of time because there's so much.
About the patch? I think that, man, just overall fun, bro. Like, do you know how many of my friends are like actually playing the game again and just enjoying it and different loadouts? And also not just variety for a single player, but like the fact that you can pick up different loadouts per different player and just make them work together is something that I've also been enjoying. Like, for example, if you pick up like a gas orbital, right? And gas grenades at the moment or whatever, and the other guys pick up something that will be really good in that combination. So for example, you drop a gas, somebody drops like a what's the name, like the fire stuff, right? Orbitals or whatever, napalms. Yeah, it's such a cool combination to see like everything go green and then everything on fire. Like I wish that there was an explosion though. That would be insane. But maybe one day. Like, you remember Anthem, Eravin? Have you played it?
I never played Anthem. I actually dodged that bullet.
Anthem had this amazing system where there were 3 classes, right? So one class would start up something and it had a specific effect, right? Like it was kind of like you were making the enemies by one character like very weak to the other effect from the other class, and then he would hit him, and then there would be explosions and shit. So there was such good synergy between classes, right? And I've always wanted that in more games, and I feel like that could be a perfect opportunity for like the gas and fire. That would be very, very nice.
For sure. All right, you guys want to get into the conversation about difficulty and people some people complaining that the game is too
like
easy
3%.
now. Yeah, like 0.01% of the player base complaining that the game is too easy.
Yeah, it's I feel like obviously everybody has their opinion. That's the beauty of it all, right? Like everybody has their opinion. Everybody should, say their opinion. That's never a problem, and nobody should like get mad at each other for a freaking opinion. We're all grown-ups and shit. But
Over a
at the end
video
of the
game.
day, yeah, over a video game, right? And I've seen like people like hop into my stream and they were like, "Yo, this streamer said this, bro," and they were saying some bad shit, and I was like, well, "Why are you doing that? Like, that's not cool." People have their opinions. That's absolutely fine. And actually, I would love to have conversations and hear their kind of side of the story. But overall, all you got to do is look at the numbers. I feel like the majority of people are enjoying the changes, and that's all that matters. You got to look at the numbers, ask people who's having fun. No, not all opinions should be listened to. You should listen to opinions unless it's like directed in a very, very bad way towards someone. An opinion is an opinion. If you can't listen to somebody's opinion, that's I don't know. Like you should be able to do that and maybe then break it down. But yeah, I don't think it's a big problem, Play. But
no,
thankfully
I
they
think
listen
it's a
to the
problem.
majority, right?
I think it's a problem because you go in the main Discord in a certain chat in there, and anytime a YouTuber's name gets brought up, they just start flaming out. Like people
go in the main Discord.
Occasionally, people send me
sorry.
messages in there. But like, it's like, bro,
Who cares, though?
why do people get so triggered over YouTubers wanting the devs to buff the guns?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me. I've never had this actually with other communities.
I had someone come in the other day and say something like, "I can't believe everyone got the weapon." I can't. They said something along the lines of, "I cannot believe this loud minority got all of the weapons buffed in this game." And then I said, "No, you're wrong. A loud minority didn't get all of the weapons in the game buffed. The silent majority that left the game and didn't say anything got the weapons buffed, and we can see that in the charts on screen right now."
Shall we show the chart? Shall we show the chart? Because it looks like a bunch of people quit playing the game.
I'm happy that all 4,000 of them were having fun until this patch, but I mean, we want to have fun too,
Yeah, so something I'll say about difficulty in the game being easier this patch versus last patch. Number one, the game was easy last patch, okay? Let's be honest. If you think the game is easier now, I don't know. Like, last patch, all you had to do on bugs was bring the cookout and the autocannon. There was just a meta that was enforced.
Wrong.
Okay, what?
That's wrong.
What?
All you had to do was run.
Yeah, you could have also just ran. If you're playing solo, it's run divers, 100%.
Yeah, it's run. Yeah.
When the game was easy last patch, it just wasn't as fun.
It wasn't as fun.
Yeah.
The other thing too is I feel like talking about Helldivers being easy is such a flawed perspective to have. Like, this is a PvE game. Does the concept not stick with you that we are playing against AI? We're playing against computers. Like, if me and Pips are 1v1ing in Space Marine or something, it's going to be
destroyed.
No, it's going to be a challenge because I'm going to put up a fight.
Okay.
And some fights, I'm going to get the edge on Pips. I might kill him like 2 times out of 50, okay? Let's be real, Pips.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll trip sometimes.
So 2 out of the 50 fights, Pips will have a challenge. In PvE games, you're playing against a robot. Do you know what that means? It means the longer you play a PvE game, the better you get at it. And if you don't get better at a PvE game, then you're just not learning. You're doing something wrong. Like, I have 1,000 hours in Helldivers now. The first Bile Titan I ever fought was insane, bro. I was spamming grenade launcher at it. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. Like, the first Charger I fought, I freaking spammed my defender at his booty cheeks. I didn't know what to do. But by the 1,000th match, like, bro, I have something in my loadout for Bile Titans and Chargers every time. Like, do they spit on me or charge me and kill me sometimes? Yeah. But, like, I have something in my loadout for them now. I know how to play the game now. So I feel like just saying like, oh, the game's easy now, it's not challenging. Like, number one, you get better at the game. Number two, it's flawed because this is PvE. If you're not maximizing fun in a PvE game, then what are you playing for?
And it doesn't also have, like, for example, like Destiny 2 had raids, right? Like a different, if you wanted like some kind of competitiveness, so to speak, and like make the content harder in terms of like team play, you would go into a raid, right? And this game doesn't even have dungeons or raids or stuff like that where you could really test that. It's just random shit. Like, you can go out and kill shit if you want to, or extract or not extract. Nothing. It makes zero difference if you extract or not at some point in the game, right? It really does. What do you think, Eravin?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, the game's always been pretty easy, especially when you consider you're playing a third-person shooter where you have 20 lives.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Minimum 20 lives and 40 minutes to get something done. And anytime anything more complicated than that gets added to the game, the community complains until it's removed as far as objectives are concerned.
I still want the scientist mission back.
Me too. It was my favorite mission. I was actually that's what I was referencing. Actually, I'm a little bit salty about that. But it's just, the game's never been all that hard. There's always been, it's always just been a knowledge check, you know? Like, you learn how to deal with specific enemies, you build loadouts that can deal with all of the different enemies, and you go and you 1vx a bug breach, or you 1vx the automaton bot drop, or just destroy the entire map in under 10 minutes. Like, I mean, there's a group in my Discord that's been winning bot missions in like 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, speed running the game. They have like all of the world records right now, and it's like, the game has just never been that hard. And having weapons in the game that just make it more fun didn't change that. It's still about the same, especially whenever you consider the changes that the enemies got that were positive for them, like their damage increases and our increase to damage received. And because we're now playing glass divers too.
And not just that, but technically now you're even, the missions are going to take longer because you stay in the mission longer because it's more fun, right? Like, you're fighting more. Like, I when we would go in previous to this patch, if I needed, let's say, something like some materials or something to unlock something, I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of that mission. Like, I was like, okay, well, let's run, grab it, and we're out of here. Now you don't care. Like, you're fighting, waiting till the last 5 minutes, and then you're getting out, you know? So yeah, I've been enjoying the patch a lot.
Yeah, I've been definitely engaging enemies far more than I was previous patch. But
yeah,
part of that, I guess, is also like, I want to test stuff. But whenever I would say, quote unquote, test stuff last patch, I would typically die like 5 times more than a normal match, and that hasn't been happening this patch.
Yeah.
One last quick thing I just want to peg on to this real quick is, you know, I won't speak for these two, but I make YouTube videos on PvE games because I'm not some sort of god gamer, right? Right? So, like, me saying Helldivers is easy is not supposed to be a flex. It's just like what Eravin also mentioned about a knowledge check. Like, I have 1,000 hours in this game. Like, if I don't know what to do when I see a Bile Titan or a Factory Strider at this point, then that would just feel bad.
Yeah,
so, like, overall, I'm not trying to say that as
one of the easiest games. Don't you agree? Like, you've played.
No.
I think there's, what game would you have you played that you would consider harder?
I don't know. I feel like most PvE games are relatively easy.
True, but like a lot of PvE games also have like some kind of challenge. right? Like now
Risk of Rain 2 can get pretty crazy. Once you get deep. Once you get deep, it's a roguelike.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
before the whole YouTube kick, I used to exclusively play roguelike games and like indie games, PvE games, pretty much all of which were far more difficult than playing Helldivers.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I play a lot of RPGs. I've played a lot of Skyrim and Fallout, and I also play PvP games. Like I used to play Call of Duty and Halo. So
Halo was the shit back in the day.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got some pile stat news. Okay, some people in chat, we mentioned the HMG durable nerf earlier. Let me find the message. All right, so someone said, pile stat, are you aware HMG was stealth nerfed this patch? It got its durable damage buffed a few patches ago, but that seems to have been reduced back to where it was, which kind of hints maybe it's not an intended nerf. And he says, we'll look into it. Thanks for bringing this up. And then he says the HMG, however, rocks, though. So there's some hopium that the HMG will get reverted. It probably will, just because I don't think they want, like, a nerf fiasco on their hands.
What happened to it? It felt pretty good, though.
Its durable damage got cut by, like, 30%.
It got reverted, and the running theory is the build we're playing of Helldivers 2 right now is one that they initially reverted and then added in all the changes again to like get the fire back to the way it was.
Okay.
Yeah, this happened with
that
Recoilless.
Makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah,
like, why the HMG's durable is down, because it's like it didn't get its buff now that it did get in between that time frame.
Yeah, this also happened with Recoilless a while ago. The Recoilless animation cancel got removed, or I'm sorry, its animation actually got slower in one patch, and someone had told me that was how slow the reload was on the first patch. And then the community made them aware of it, and they actually fixed it. So it's very possible this is just unintended, but they will look into it. So at the very least, if it was intentional, we'll find out soon, hopefully.
It's just another one of those reasons why they need to be more transparent with these numbers in the actual game, because if they didn't have people looking under the hood to see that kind of stuff, it could go undiscovered for months.
Yeah, true. True. Luckily, we got the data miners on our side.
Yeah, that's a huge W for the community.
All right, so another cool thing is with the Stim pistol, someone made a Reddit post. Another video showcasing the unwieldy nature of the Stim pistol, showcasing the terrible accuracy and inconsistent hitboxes.
Golden bonus XP.
So I could play this video, but obviously they're just showing that, like, the crosshair is way off, I guess. You know, the same running thing that keeps happening. But also, oh, dude, it looks like he sidestepped it. That's crazy. But also, yeah, the hitboxes are a little bit weird. Pretty much, if you're using the Stim pistol, I've noticed that you got to stand completely still for your teammate to hit you with this. And he commented and said, wow, this is bad. What the hell's going on here? So hopefully this gets looked at.
I know exactly what's happening there.
Go ahead.
It has the recoil of the Senator it's built off of, and it's not supposed to. The crosshair doesn't move because the weapon's supposed to have 0 recoil, but it has Senator recoil.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
This is the exact same thing that got us the Commando with 40 demolition, because it was built off the spear, and they just forgot to change a number.
Yeah, so speaking of the Stim pistol, though, why don't we talk about the new Warbond a little bit? Any thoughts on gas, Pips?
Yeah. So I've made a build, for example, with the gas grenades and the orbital gas with the flamethrower with the armor. That's now my favorite build in the game. I literally don't use much apart from that because currently I'm having too much fun with that. But overall, I think the Warbond, I'm not a big fan of the sterilizer or the rover. I think they're most likely going to be reworked, or at least they're going to need a rework. The fact that, for example, the rover just chases one enemy just doesn't give me any kind of, there's 0 reason for me personally to use it. I'm just going to run the laser rover, which right now is incredible because it also does the fire thing, and it just shreds everything around you. So when it comes to rovers, I wouldn't really run that for myself. The sterilizer 100% also needs a rework. I've heard some cool ideas, such as like let it create a cloud of gas or like leave a pool of poison and stuff like that. I think that the easiest one would be the gas clouds because they already have it in the game, essentially. But overall, I think the grenades are the only thing, and the armor that I've been putting into my builds, and it's been a lot of fun for sure because it's a completely different play style.
So I think the sterilizer is the most mid thing in that Warbond. What I'll say about it though is it is weirdly good in some situations. I've literally just stood in bug breaches and like, you know, it feels like I'm shooting nothing and doing nothing because it does 0 damage up front. But at some point, I just get like a 60 kill streak out of nowhere. So like, I do think it does need that quality of life buff to give it lingering clouds instead, because that would make it instantly like it's a support weapon. You know what I mean? Like it takes up your support weapon slot. So I feel like it should be better. It should be better than the grenades. You know what I mean? So I absolutely think they do need to give it something.
I think to some degree the kill streaks are actually bugged with it.
I don't know. I have some good clips. I'm putting them in a video later today as well. It does feel like you're doing nothing with it when you're shooting it at first, but like you do start killing a lot of bugs at some point. But no, I definitely think it needs buffed. The gas grenade. Tell me your guys' thoughts on this. I think the gas grenade is better than stun grenades.
Ooh. Oh, well, I'm running gas now over stuns though. There. So I've never run anything but stuns.
In some ways, it's worse because sometimes the enemies still will attack you even though they're gassed up. So in that way, it can be worse sometimes. But you can confuse an impaler. You can confuse a barrager tank.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And on top of that, I'm loving it. The lingering cloud lasts what, 15 seconds?
Yeah, I lost a very long time. Throw that down, run into it, you're good.
And it also does chip damage, so it'll like kill the tiniest enemies, and it chips the heavier ones. Like one example I could think of is Alpha Commanders. Alpha Commander is 3 shots for a crossbow right now, but 2 shots is like 95% of its health. So like, you know, toss a gas grenade and then all of a sudden it's 2 shots now. So like that chip damage is also relevant. Yeah. Eravin, do you think gas is better than stuns, or do you think stuns are better than gas? Grenades.
General thoughts on the Warbond. I definitely, at this current point in time, feel as though it's 1,000 super credits for a gas grenade. This is basically how it feels, because even the best armor in the bond is in the superstore. It's not even in the bond itself because of what Pips mentioned, and feel pretty strongly that all 3 of the gas armors should just make you immune to gas, because that
100%.
is the power fantasy of the Warbond. That is what makes it fun, being able to run around in the gas and bait bugs into the gas to die. That's what everyone was hyped up about whenever they saw the trailer and saw the dudes walking through the gas like nothing happened. And that's just not the case unless you're wearing heavy with Vitality Booster, which also puts Vitality Booster in the crosshairs for a nerf, because maybe they'll finally realize that it's doing that. Not good. Not good for us. But on the topic of gas versus stuns, I'm running thermite now. Like
okay, but gas versus stuns. Gas versus stuns. Which one do you think is better?
Stuns,
you got to choose.
I think they're about the same, because
no, you got to choose.
Go
ahead.
You
think the stuns?
I think stuns personally, because
okay,
as someone who literally only ever wears ultralight armor, I can't afford to play a guessing game on whether the hunter is going to actually care immediately about my gas and not pounce because it's queued up the action already at me because I threw a gas grenade at it. It feels so bad every single time it happens. It doesn't always happen, but when it happens and you throw a gas grenade and then a hunter just like pounces at you and headshots you, it's like, okay, buddy, glad I threw that.
Fair.
I throw a stun, immediate effect. Nothing is coming at me. I have no illusion as to what it's going to do. I know what it's going to do, and I get the effect that I wanted to get out of that grenade. I think outside of the gimmick, where like you're running through the gas and you're doing the heavy armor thing and messing around with the gas in that respect, I think I'd rather have stuns every time.
Fair
Yeah, it's
enough.
definitely just a different play style. It's a more aggressive kind of throw in, just rushing, go crazy. It's
Yeah.
fun. It
Side
is fun.
grades? Side grades?
Side grades.
Gas is a little riskier, but it lasts a lot longer. So that's a fair side grade. Chicken Man with the $2 says Piles just tweeted how they're changing the Purifier. We got that tweet lined up. Thank you for the $2. Can we get 2 Eagle
Thank you,
ones
man.
in the chat, please, for the $2? Appreciate it. All right, next, the Gas Rover. Now, I asked you two what you thought about it at the before we started, and you guys don't like it.
No,
No.
it's get it the fuck out of the game. Yeah.
Why? You got to tell the chat why.
I don't understand why it's chasing one bug for 45 minutes. I don't understand what's happening there. Is it damaged? Is there some kind of like system error or something? Why is it make it confused and move on to the next one, or like create a cloud or something? Like I don't know. Like it's chasing one dude. And it's not like it's killing it. I don't know what the damage on it is, like 1 damage per 3 minutes.
Yeah, it does basically no damage.
Yeah,
25
so
per
it
second.
confuses one bug, and it actually stays on that bug for way too long. And if I run off, it stays on that bug anyway. So I'm like looking around where my rover is. I can't even find it. And then like 15 minutes later, it shows up out of nowhere. So I don't like it. Yeah.
It's a consistency problem for me. It's the same reason I was talking about the gas grenades, where this rover, I don't know what effect it's going to have on the battlefield. It could spray all the bugs, it could spray one of the bugs. It could spray all of the bugs, and then they still leap at me and still come at me and attack me even though they're confused. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know one thing for sure. They're not going to be immediately dead, and what does make them immediately dead is if I were to bring the laser rover instead.
Yes, drill through them.
And
Yes,
it becomes a question of opportunity costs. Whenever you view a lot of these Warbond items outside of a vacuum and start comparing them to other weapons
Yep.
or other
Exactly.
options, I'd rather have a personal shield because I know that shield is going to deflect 150 damage before it has to recharge. I know it's going to protect me from all forms of CC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that rover is going to do, except probably get me killed a couple times.
Many times.
Yeah. Especially if I rely on it to do anything. Like if I play in a way where I'm relying on it to do something the way I rely on the personal shield to do something, it's gonna kill me. And yeah, I think the best way to fix it is just make it so sterilizer, because I mean that's the weapon strapped to it. If sterilizer produced gas clouds, I think it would be a completely different story.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to take it one
Yeah,
step further and make
sterilizer
it
should make
actually a
clouds.
really strong option, like if you wanted to make it something that was like, wow, that is awesome, and like really lean into support divers, people that really like supportive play styles in games, because that's what this Warbond was clearly marketed towards with the Stim pistol and like the gas being crowd control oriented. Why not make the gas also reduce armor by 1 the way Acid Rain does?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Good question. That would be a good change too.
You do those 2 things, it could do 0 damage, and people will still bring it and like absolutely swear by it because it'll be such a cool addition to any team to play with their friends.
Yeah. That's true.
So yeah, no, that would, I mean, reducing armor would be cool. So I like the confuse effect. I think if I had one suggestion to improve it, I would say turn the enemy into a friendly, like under the hood, so that other bugs
So
will
that they
also
kill
start
it too,
attacking
yeah.
it. Yeah. So that they'll actually start fighting with each other. I don't know how easy that would be for them to do. It would probably cause some spaghetti. So I actually like the gas rover a lot because the confuse effect, like you said, sometimes the enemies can queue up actions and they can attack you anyway. But one thing that's good about the gas rover is it actually will attach to an enemy, so you're able to run away, but it'll keep them gassed up. And so I find that it helps me create a lot of space. And one gun I really like right now is the crossbow. So with the gas buddy, I can just create that space, and then I can get a few feet back and then shoot that enemy, and then it'll move on. So I don't know. I like the gas rover, and also if it goes to groups of enemies, it will like gas them all up, and then that helps me create space really well. Devin with the $5 says, I think all armors with resistance need 100%. I 100% agree. So what Eravin mentioned earlier was that you can currently wear heavy armor with vitality booster. Doesn't matter what heavy armor, doesn't need to be gas resistance. Gas does so little damage that you will take 0 damage from the sterilizer, the grenades, and if the rover happens to hit you. So you don't even need gas resistance. And what this has taught me, I didn't need to be taught this, but what this has 100% cemented is that the gas should just have full immunity, because like when you're able to run through, like if you want to play with gas, you need to be wearing heavy armor just because it makes you resist it completely. Now the gas EMS or the gas orbital, on the other hand, has damage attached to its cloud.
Wait, I'm
Yo,
sorry.
Tommy with the 20
Tommy with
gifted.
20 gifted.
Yo,
Get some
Tommy.
dubs in chat, everyone.
I appreciate
Get
the
some
20
dubs.
gifted. Yo, throw some e-girl ones in the chat.
Woo!
Yo, shout
Yo,
out to
baby.
Tommy. Tommy, how you doing today? He says gonna
Thank you,
get
Tommy. Thank
gifted.
you.
Tommy, you're a goat. Yo, if you got a channel membership from Tommy, say thank you and spam some new emotes. Okay, we got some good emotes. We got the bug typing, we got the bot typing. Throw some emotes in the chat. Yo, Tommy, thank you, dude. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tommy.
Great, good to hear. Also, I got a members only uploaded right now. So after the podcast, if you want to check that out, you got a membership now. What was I talking about, Tommy? You derailed me, Tommy. I appreciate it. Yeah, the gas armor needs to be 100% resist. Yeah, because it makes it way more fun.
And it's also like the realism thing when they need it, it's almost realism, right? I'm wearing a mask. Like, what's happening there? Is it like something's wrong with the mask?
Your armor has a hole in it, Pips.
Well, I would put on like tape on it, something. like I would, you know what I mean? Like, come on now.
Do you guys think
corrosive? That's why it makes you cough.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
It would chew through the tape.
Yeah.
Tommy says I'm pew-pewing. We got the finger guns, Tommy. All right, and then finally in the Warbond is the Stim pistol. I want to start.
Yes.
I think the way the Stim pistol is designed, it pisses everyone off because it's not a real Stim. It doesn't heal you to full. They definitely need to fix the hitboxes and make it aim straight. And they also need to make the projectile faster so it could just be easier to shoot. Because you got to stand still to get stimmed by your teammate. But what I'll say is when we first tried the Stim pistol, we went to a bots match. One person on my team brought it. And dude, we were healed the full game. Like, the only time I died was the bullshit one-shots. But let's be real, that's bots. So one singular Stim heals what? Half your health? So like, or
like a third.
A third, yeah. So they do need to shoot you a couple times. And the one thing I'll say is, like I said, the way it's designed, it just kind of pisses you off because it's like, oh, it's not a real Stim. It's like a third of a Stim. But like, you have so many that when you just take like random chip damage against bots, or if you jump off a small cliff and it takes your life, you just have a lot of ammo. So it actually is kind of good for that reason. What do you guys think of the Stim pistol? Pips, I know you won't care.
Yeah. No.
Pips doesn't support his teammates, guys.
I don't. It's just that poorly designed. It's one of those items where it's obvious that they were afraid to overdo it, but because of that fear, it's so undercooked. You know, like first of all, like the way it performs and shoots and hitboxes and everything. My friend was running it, and I was when you're speed running with your light armor, he couldn't hit it once.
Yeah, you have to stand still. You have to stand still.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Yeah.
Yeah, you die in short bursts, not long attrition, but how many times do you fall off a short cliff and then you waste a Stim?
Well, I'm definitely not waiting around for my teammate to shoot me after I fall off that cliff because I'm probably running from something.
Listen, man, get Silly in one of your games. Okay, Silly is my support teammate. Lab 2. And on bots, I don't think it's good on bugs, but like on bots, when you take random chip damage or, like I said, fall off a short fall, like it's pretty nice, man. Also, it's really funny to see 500 Stims used at the end of the game. That's really funny too.
That is pretty funny. I think it's a bit insulting that they're labeled as real Stims, though.
That's what I mean, dude. I swear it's designed.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like even seeing that clip made me hate it even more. Like how it has revolver recoil when it's supposed to have 0. Like, what are you doing? It's such a clear, obvious afterthought of an addition to the game. And it's like the darts are too slow to track teammates accurately. If someone is actually trying in a combat situation to shoot you with darts that heal you for 40 HP with the amount of damage we take this patch, I'm probably upset at them for not shooting the enemies that did this to me and trying to like heal me instead when I have my own stims. And that's what it comes down to. It's like I have my own stims. I probably don't need to have the chip healing. I probably just die like 9 out of 10 times. I'm just dead, or like that 40 healing actually won't circumvent the damage that I'm receiving.
Yeah, it's undercooked.
The tracking's too slow. The darts heal too little. The only interesting thing about it is how experimental infusion applies to it, which is great. But yeah, I don't know. Why can't you shoot yourself with this dart gun? There isn't a single good reason they could give me why you can't just inject that thing. Killing Floor 2 did it like Killing Floor 1 did it how long ago? How many years ago now? Killing Floor 2, Killing Floor 1.
The reason they're not going to do that is because of survivability. They're trying to make you into something that you can't survive that easily. And I think
I get the gameplay
do that.
reason, but the logical reason, like there's no unless Super Earth is like punishable by death using your own stim gun on yourself.
All right, I got 2 more comments on this. Number 1 is it definitely feels like it came out during escalation of nerfs. Okay, let's be real. It definitely feels like it's from the escalation of freedom patch.
The whole Warbond feels
not
like that.
This
the
patch.
Warbond has been in the oven for a couple months before the 17th update for sure.
The second thing is someone said make it a break action stim gun and it blasts your teammate across the map as it full heals them. That would be great.
Make it a stim grenade launcher. Make it give you a pool of healing, like a cloud of healing gas.
Oh, that would be dope. What about a healing grenade? You throw it on the ground.
Healing grenade.
There's a
healing
pool?
grenade launcher.
What about
that?
What about the healing rover, since that's from the first game and it would be a stratagem in the stratagem Warbond? All right.
That would be nice too.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. Funny clip now. Someone posted on Reddit this clip of a minigun, and they'd said, guys, get ready for brap sound effects. I'd give all my life savings directly to Johan personal bank account just to get this as a stratagem.
Ooh, that must have been fun. Damn. Those bullets are going to be so hot, too. Holy.
Guess what, Pips? Guess what? Pilestat commented, I'll give all my money in my bank account to get exactly what is seen in the video with a backpack.
Yeah.
That
one is going to need a backpack for sure. If they do it, if it's like that, yeah, it needs like 3 backpacks.
Dude,
that's gonna be
saw
good.
That. Hold on, you gotta.
Yo, K-Hop donated 50.
Oh.
Jeez,
Go, baby.
guys, the support on the podcast today is insane. K-Hop, thank you so much for the 50. It's probably already in the files, but give us the Rep 80 medic gun. Oh yeah, the medic gun was so sick because it could heal your mechs. And the AD289 Angel support drone, but also you guys are great. Dude, K-Hop, thank you.
Thank you, Hop.
Yo, thank you guys for the support on the podcast today. Dude, it's been crazy so far. It's been crazy so far.
Thank you.
Chat, who wants the crazy brap minigun? I do. I've been asking for this.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Anything that is like that will make the game more fun.
Piles just like went into the office, broke the door down, and was like, give the Helldivers the heavy Devastator Gatling gun. Now.
True. The one that doesn't...
Take off the inhibitors.
Yeah, the one that doesn't overheat.
Yeah.
All right, we got a quick message before we move on to the more exciting stuff. I thought this was interesting, though, because he said going on my list. But somebody commented and said turrets, or some suggestions for the game. Turrets don't alert enemies to your presence unless you engage those enemies or fire a shot within their normal range. The same with mines, by the way. Can we shout out mines here?
That already happens.
You sure?
positive.
Okay.
We've tested that one a lot.
I'm pretty sure do mines alert the enemies to you though, don't they?
I don't know about mines because we don't run mines, but we do have some folks that use exclusively turrets, and this is like one of the highlights of why they like them. And they swear by them. And there's several people that do this, but it is a little bit jank when you get multiple people involved because of the soft locking issue.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And that's not so much the turrets, that's that age-old problem that just doesn't seem to be even on their radar, despite us talking about it at least like 5 times a month.
So you're saying that it's not that they're immediately alerted to you, it's that they go into that soft lock and then when they see you.
Yeah, they go into the soft alerted status where like as soon as a Helldiver comes within their vision cone distance, even if they're behind them, they're just like, hey, I know exactly where you are now for no reason at all. And that's not so much the turret alerting them. That's jank with the stealth system.
So Eravin, some hopium for you then. Maybe they investigate this and they realize that it's soft locking.
Oh, that would be something if they realize that that doesn't work the way it's supposed to.
All right, number 2 is give the airburst a 2-stage reload. First part, get the rocket in. Second is the twist. Every time I use the airburst and the 7-second reload, I always get interrupted by the enemies during the twist animation. So this is the I mean, it needs way more than this.
That reload speed is so cooked. I never want to pick it up just on that alone.
Yeah, it needs way more than what this person is saying. But I 1000% agree with this. Yeah, 1000%. Number 3, no ragdolling on bunker turret or Hulk heavy laser. Okay, I'm just glad that they mentioned the Hulk heavy laser and Pilestat said on this. The AoE damage is fine, but the ragdolling is what makes it impossible to be in the sights for more than a moment. Yes. Oh my god. Yep. Dude, giving the Hulk that heavy laser, like when you're reducing ragdolling as part of the 60-day plan, like come on.
Yet another nerf to Devastator rockets while the rocket strider is walking around unchanged and the bunker turrets are unchanged was kind of crazy to me, not gonna lie.
Bro,
like I think those two things are so much more egregious than continually nerfing the Devastator rockets.
Yeah, remove rocket striders from the game. No weak point. Dude, if you get behind a rocket strider, the back part of them that's like kind of glowing red even a little bit needs to just be a weak point for light pen.
Yeah, having no light pen weak points is pretty messed up.
Yeah. And then just a little funny one here. Add Swedish in-game voice options for Super Jordan. I agree. I use non-English. I was on Japanese. I switched to German. I'll probably go to Espanol soon. I like the different voice. I like the different languages, personally.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So some of the fun ones. Okay, Moa says, what's up, Moa, if you're in the chat, by the way. Can we get more assault rifles, please? Preferably no bullpups, because we have tons of them. He said, agree. And this is the one everyone's going to care about. And we get a massive buff to the Purifier. It was bad before the patch, but now after all the buffs to the other weapons, it's awful. Please tell me it's in the next patch. Yes, we already have it on the internal build. It will be able to be fired as fast as the Scorcher, plus charge up with if you want the blast. This one is cooking.
It better charge up to AP4.
Depends though. What about the damage? What if they lower the damage as a Scorcher and then the damage once you charge it up isn't high? All of these things on like that, if you read it, it sounds really good. And I'm hoping it's going to be exactly that. But if it's lower damage than Scorcher and then the blast isn't worth it in terms of damage, I don't think they're going to do that, though. I think they're going to cook this one for sure.
The charge up.
It even crossed your mind, though, Pips, and it's a callback to their PR speak in the patch notes.
Oh,
whenever
no.
you're excited to say something.
Guys, stop. You're making everyone in chat upset.
What are they not telling you?
You're making everyone in chat upset. Come on, let us have our hopium. Don't worry, chat. I got your back.
It's good hopium, though, because now the momentum is on our side, right? It's on the good side, right? Yep. Like the patch was incredible. The buffs were amazing. The game feels 10 times better. So the chances of this being a good change is very high compared to before this. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yo, CT Jennings with the $10 says, nerf the standing animation after ragdoll, maybe stay prone. Just let me stim before I stand up. I agree, and I think this could be another settings change. Like, remember when we were auto-running over our supplies? Anybody remember that?
Thank you, Jennings.
I still do that. I left that setting on.
Oh, Eravin, turn it off. Yo, Eravin,
I don't want to. I didn't realize how many things I auto vault. I like auto vault. I just slow down when I approach those crates.
Dude, you just hold your space bar. That's all you got to do. Pips, you have that off. You have that on too?
Oh, when I run over that thing and climb on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it. It looks so cool.
Oh my god.
It looks cool, bro. You're rushing it, and like your diver is a little bit stupid. So he like kind of crawls up it. It looks fun. It looks fun, and I've noticed that it's like minus 30% damage because like it confuses the bug. So it's like a hidden buff. You know?
Also chat, and this one's kind of a dig at Eravin as well. Turn off your screen shake, bro, or at least turn it down. Dude, screen shake is so annoying.
Setting. It's on the lowest setting. I like the immersion.
Dude, screen shake messes up your aim and everything.
I have that shit off.
Eravin, every time
low.
Eravin, listen, I love watching your streams, okay? I do. I be lurking, okay? But the screen shake, man, it kills me.
Migraine enabled. Like 10 minutes.
I don't know.
It's crazy that you
goes off and it throws my aim off, and I feel immersed.
Fair. All right.
What's your FOVs at?
Standard.
So I used to have mine on max, but then people kept saying, "Do you run faster?" And I'm like, I was sick of saying no. My FOVs turned up.
Literally why I keep it max, Filet.
I turned it down a little bit. I turned it down. So mine's like maybe 10 under max or something.
Yeah, I maxed it out. And when they ask me, I tell them like I have like a special edition of the game.
Yeah. Sometimes when people ask me how I got my cat ears, I'm like, yeah, Twinbeard messaged me. He told me he really likes my content. He gave me this helmet.
Exactly. Wait, Eravin, what's your FOV?
The default. Like what the game should
This guy, dude.
Eravin, did you even change your keybinds, bro? Or are you playing default those two?
My keybinds are default too, yeah.
Oh god.
Bro, can I say one thing about devs?
Professional. He's a pure gamer.
The default settings for every game I've ever played are trash. Okay, I'm sorry. Yo, McWolves with the $2 says max screen shake gang for life. All right, that one's for you, Eravin. I'll cash app you $2 later, even. That one's yours. You can keep that one. McWolves, your $2. Or I'll just donate it in Eravin's chat later. That one's going to Eravin, McWolves. Dude, I hate screen. It like, I don't know. Anyways, we got another one. Is there any plans on buffing jump pack cooldown next patch, or is it off the table?
Yes.
We are looking at it next patch. Dude, I said this in the last patch. If they are truly buffing the game to be fun, they will buff the jump pack.
Absolutely, man.
The jump pack is the most fun thing.
I will never take that shit off ever again.
100%.
If they drop 10 seconds, that's a GG right there, bro. That's it.
Just make it function like Helldivers one jump pack and give it fuel. Easy.
Yeah, true.
Oh, it's so good. Like, it feels good. That shit has to go, though. Like, when you're jumping and you're starting to shoot and it goes everywhere. That gives me the same feeling when you're trying to go to the toilet when you're drunk and you're missing everything. It's like, what the hell is wrong with that, bro? Like, just let us shoot. You know what I mean? That would be so sick if you could just shoot. That would be crazy cool.
Yo, John with a $10 says, I would be enjoying the game way more if more enemies would spawn. 4-way split divers disables enemies 70% of the time when trying to have fun. And pubs always run away from me when trying to stick to them. I agree. And
for the 10, John.
We talked about the difficulty earlier. We kind of just, flamed a little bit. But no, dude. I think they should increase the difficulty with the amount of enemies. I 100% agree with that. Stalkers and bug breaches. Shrieker hordes.
Still gonna occur, though.
Shrieker hordes like on Meridia. Well, they would have to change like the way the spawns work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the aggro gets like spread out. Like when we're trying to speedrun something, one person just does missions, 3 just fight, and that guy's just chilling.
Yep. Always been that way. Always will be.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, John, for the $10. we get some more hype in the chat, please?
I mean, if I wanted to stick super close to my teammates, I would play Left 4 Dead. I would play Space Marine 2. I would play Back 4 Blood. I have like a big open sandbox area where I can go wherever I want, do whatever I want, use whatever tactics I want between me and my other teammates. I don't think it would be good for the game to move in a way where like you are more restricted to sticking together, and I think the general public would not like being more restricted to staying closer to their teammates in order to succeed. I think it's nice whenever it's a positive to be near your teammates, but I don't want to feel like I'm constrained to staying near my teammates, like I get jumped on by a hunter, for example.
It could also be a symptom. Remember when patrols used to just zone in on you? What if it's a symptom of that? So, I don't know. They could definitely look at something with that. Hey, there's Moa, just shows up and says Liberator Penetrator is so bad. True. All right, chat. We are going to talk about some of the squish divers, some of the hidden changes that people don't know about. We got a chart here we'll talk about. But first, guys, I think it's time for some liver dive. What do you guys think?
Yes, let's do it.
We've got the #1 liver dive player, Eravin. Okay, I'm ready for this. Eravin, you know I love you on the liver dives. I've told you this.
I do.
I do, dude. Eravin analyzes the situation. I like when you get it wrong too, because you'll like second guess yourself, and don't second guess yourself on this one. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's run it.
I got you.
Oh, we're fucking jammed. All right, we got to make this happen. Come on. All right. Got to make this happen. Do I, #1, Thick makes it happen? Or #2, Thick doesn't make it happen? What are we thinking, boys?
I think Thick makes it happen.
Why? What's the...
I have a... What's the reason? The way you're smiling right now, it's full of like fucking... You're so proud of what you've done in that clip, you know? And even if it wasn't for that, I believe in Thick. There it is. Just turn down the clip. We all know.
You know, thank you guys. Thank you. I was embarrassed. I turned off the cam for a second, but thank you. Both of you think I make it happen?
100%. I never doubted. Anybody that doubts you, ban them immediately.
I will. Lab, start banning people. Start banning. Yo, thank you guys.
Everyone.
Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. All right, let's see what happens.
100%. 100%. Watch this.
Wow.
We're gonna make this happen.
What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened?
He made it happen. That's what happened.
Wow.
We're gonna make this happen.
He did in fact make something happen.
Holy shit, Thick.
Bro, it wasn't even the rocket, dude. It was just 2 front guns. He just fucking two-shot me.
I was expecting like full-on John Rambo action right there. Like,
yeah, those front guns just kill you now. It's silly.
They do.
They did not need to be even more deadly than they were. It's so dumb. I got killed like that the other day too.
Yeah. All right, next clip. This is another one for me. Let's just watch it.
Right here.
All right. Is it gonna be #1 Stalkers?
Yes,
and this is bait for Pips. He's gonna pick this one. It's just
working.
It's bait, chat. #2 Stealth Charger. Yo,
trust me on this one.
Let's get all the options out and I'll respond to Tommy. #3 Warrior 2 tap. Or #4, the entire clip is bait. I just kill an Alpha Commander. You guys choose in chat. Tommy says, you guys, Thick Fillet and your friends, watch the movie called Share, Follow, Subscribe. And tell me what you feel about it later. Do you have any Psycho followers yet? The movie's about a streamer. Wait, is it actually called that? Or are you telling people to share, follow, and subscribe? Yo, Tommy, thank you for the donut. I'll look up that movie. It sounds interesting. I don't think I have any Psycho viewers. I just got some hate watchers. That's about it. All right, thank you, Tommy. Tommy, what do you think is going to happen in this clip? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
It's 1.
What arm are you wearing there? That looks pretty. It looks pretty light.
Oh, here we go. I'm
not gonna lie. I've been switching.
Eravin Holmes.
I've been switching. Devin with the $5 says, "Can we talk about rocket striders? I hate those things." Yeah. No, I think they need to be removed from the game. Azusa with the $5. Yo, you guys are popping off. Any thoughts about when, if we will be getting high difficulty, eliminate high value target missions, as in where are our mini bosses? So, I think the last patch has been mainly with the balance. I don't know when they're gonna add Hive Lords in. It seems like with the Gloom, we'll have to see. But thank you guys. Can we get some emotes for Tommy, Devin, and Azusa? Thank you guys for the donos. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Hive Lords are coming with the Gloom.
1.
I think this entire clip is bait and you just kill an alpha commander, but what I really want to happen is for you to get 2-tapped by a warrior, because that's been happening to me all week since the durability changes.
Can you get 2-tapped by warriors in medium armor? I think you can.
Dude, they 2-tap you. They don't give a shit anymore.
They just kind of kill you. You know what? I'm going to say warrior 2-tap, actually. I kind of want to see you get 2-tapped by a warrior. And it's not stealth charger. We already did that meme.
All right.
Turn it on. I want to see it. Oh, God, please.
Not stealth charger, by the way.
Oh my god.
Not stealth charge. I had to play it. Paul with the 5 pounds says pod is great. Dude, I appreciate the donos, guys.
Thank you, Paul.
More emotes in the chat, please. Not stealth charger, by the way.
I had a stealth charger appear through an impaler and kill me the other day.
Crazy.
It teleported through it like they'd engaged the warp drive and I died.
All right. Next clip, we got a stim pistol user. This is silly. All right, let's see what happens. All right. Number 1, Rocket Strider. Number 2, Silly keeps his team alive like a good boy. Number 3, Hellbomb? Question mark. Or number 4, lives.
The Rocket Striders. Lives. How much time is it left? Is it extracting?
I don't know.
Is this an extraction? No. I don't think
No, it's not an extraction.
I'm gonna say 2.
Silly keeps his team alive like a good boy.
I'm gonna say 2 because that would make it clip worthy. Look, I did something really good with the stim pistol, the first time ever in the history of the game.
Hey, he's healing his teammates. Look, his teammates are topped
Exactly.
off. S4 is not on the screen, though. Oh, wait, no, S4 is Silly. Wait, no, Silly's name is Chico in game. All right, S4 is not on the screen. All right, let's run it. Let's see what happens.
Boom. Good heal. Oh, shit. Okay.
Come on, guys. It's Silly. It's Silly. You guys know by now, Silly always lives. Silly always lives.
He was also healing, though.
He was, and he's a good boy.
Yeah. So it's 2 and 4.
Well, one of his teammates instantly died to that Hellbomb. I think it was a Hellbomb. All right, next clip.
Sending in an eagle.
All right, we've got option number 1, big boom, boom big. Option number 2, don't call a 500 over a shelf. Option number 3, stealth charger knocks him into the 500. Or stalkers.
Stalkers, 4. It's 4.
So for those of you that don't know, the don't call a 500 over a shelf was from a pile stat talk.
This is a hard one because I can't tell if they're close enough for boom big or the 500.
I think it's gonna get.
shelf.
Yeah. I think it's gonna get stuck to something on his right, most likely, or behind him or something.
So he's wearing the shield generator. I think he's basically throwing the 500, flex in, stand in close. And then protecting himself with the shield generator. Birdie with the 2 pounds says, how do I submit liver dive clips? I just joined my Discord, post him in the clips channel. I just pull clips out of there randomly.
I'm going to say big boom, boom big. Because boom big, do bing, boom big.
That's fair. You know? I know you like that one. And Pips just says what, stalkers?
Yeah, it's gonna stick to something. It's not gonna kill anyone, and then a stalker is gonna jump in and like slice him in half, and I will lose my shit.
Pips, I'll give
You'd be
you.
able to hear them now, though.
I'll give you a second chance, Pips. Okay, remember the first.
No.
Remember the first one was stalkers. This is bait for Pips. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I do.
You're
I'm
sticking to
saying
stalkers.
4.
Okay.
Yes, stalkers are my baby.
He was the shelf.
He got butt plugged so bad right there.
No.
He got butt plugged.
He
bro.
was the shelf. All right.
Blast him!
Eagle never
He
misses.
just started blasting. On crack.
Another stim pistol clip. All right. Rail cannon deflects. Clay keeps his team alive with the stim gun, like a good boy. Stalkers finally, or Bile Titan hits a strike. Yo, CT Jennings with the $10 says, I hate dying by supplies. Like right before you can pick up any stims. Oh, like standing near the supplies. Yo, thank you for the $10. Dude, you guys are popping off today with the donations. Could we get some emotes in between all these options? All right, what are we thinking
he's
here,
baiting me
boys?
again, dude. He's
I'm
baiting
gonna-
me again, dude.
Oh, now I'm finally baiting you, Pips.
This is textbook Bile Titan bowling setup. I'm saying 4.
Pips, what do you
Stalkers.
think? Stalkers,
3.
finally?
Yeah, 3. It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Am I double baiting him? Like I'm saying stalkers finally, so Pips thinks he's being baited, and then he won't pick stalkers, and then it actually is finally stalkers?
Jokes on you,
Or
I'll always pick it. 3.
Am I triple baiting him because I know that he's going to think I'm baiting him so that he thinks it's not stalkers when it actually is stalkers, but actually I know he's going to think that, so he's not going to pick it.
Jesus.
You pick
I'm
3,
still
Pips?
second. Yes, 3.
Play the clip.
Bag's empty.
What the fuck?
Please.
Holy shit!
Dude, come on.
You're right.
Come on.
I couldn't jump over it.
Lab, team reload.
Land on Scythe!
Holy fuck, I can't even see it. All right, cannon turret absolutely ruins this clip.
Oh, that would be so funny. That has to be it, bro.
Thick gets a sick, nasty 30 kill streak killing the ships. Stalkers.
Nah.
Or-
there ain't no stalkers here, bro.
A rocket strider ruins the fun.
Oh,
Can you guys tell the theme of this live or die? I was just messing with Pips the whole time.
yeah, I've noticed. And I'm not gonna lie, I want to pick 3.
Oh,
Pips, please pick 3. Please lock it in.
Yeah, chat, lock it in. Everybody, 3. Chat, come on, let's go.
It has to be stalkers.
It has to be
dude.
stalkers. I agree.
Bro,
I
what if it was
refuse
stalkers?
to-
What if it
I
was?
refuse to believe that anybody can ever cuddle up like this and not immediately pay for it, so it's 4.
You know, if we zoom and enhance, there was a rocket strider behind this word. It's got to be 4, right? Chat, but seriously though, what if it was stalkers? That would be insane.
That would be insane. It's 100% 3, but I'm gonna say 1.
If it was stalkers, this would be on your YouTube channel. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be at Live or Die.
It might be. All right, let's see what happens. I can't even see it. I don't have render distance up enough. I hit it. Oh my god.
Oh, that was a crazy hit.
Come on, guys. Come on. I showed 2 embarrassing clips of myself. Listen, if anything's true about Live or Dive, it's that Silly always lives and that I have a huge ego, okay? If I show 2 clips of myself dying, I'm going to show a sick, nasty clip eventually.
Well, technically, it was 27 kills.
You know what, Pips? You're off the show.
No. I'm just saying, like, if we're being so, like specific, it was like 27.
Okay,
good,
buddy. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does that mean I get a promotion?
Yeah, you do. Thank you, Eravin.
Epic.
Yep, scammed. It wasn't 30.
Listen, I was rushing. Okay, I was editing Live or Dive. That's why we were pushing back the podcast so far. All right, that was a fun episode. All right, so now we're on to some of the squishiness of the Helldivers, and Eravin's brought some actual numbers behind what's going on. You like to take it from here?
Yeah. So it's no secret that whenever they made these changes, we saw they were very proud to announce that your headshots would be dealing, or you would be taking 50% less damage to your head when you were hit in the head by all enemies. Realizing that they kind of leaned into it as if this was like a really big problem for them, or a problem that they were hearing about pretty frequently. Like damage was too spiky because you'd get hit in the head and you just instantly die no matter what you were wearing. And they're right. It was a problem. And it's good that that was changed to 150. But what, in my opinion, is not great is they took that 50% and they told us that they did this, that you would take slightly more damage in the other areas of your body. And they used that word slightly. So it was very interesting to me that they said, oh, you're taking 50% less damage to your head, which isn't really true, because what was actually happening is you're functionally taking 25% less than you were before, right? 200 down to 150, quick maths. But
Yeah.
beyond that, they also just said slightly when it came to the other stuff, because it's PR speak, right? And that kind of sucks. But we look into it, we look at the numbers, people data mine it, people post pictures like this in my Discord about it. I believe this one came from Agent Ice. And so basically your body is taking about 15% more damage than it was last patch, no matter what you wear. Like, this is across all armors. This is before the armor mitigation comes into play. Your arms have gone from 70% to 85%, which functionally, if you math that out, you're actually taking about 17.7% more damage to your arms than you were before. And that's a lot. That's almost the difference that Vitality Booster is making, like 20% cut, right? And legs 15% more there. And what it's all coming down to is they did make good on their promise. They made it so damage is less spiky. You definitely are getting more consistent damage. But I would say that the consistency is you're now consistently getting one shot and taking a lot more damage.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say when you said that.
Yeah, the damage is consistent now. It's consistently really high. And Devil's Advocate, I think that that's okay. Generally, it's fine that it worked out this way, because all our enemies took massive nerfs, right? And we kill them way quicker. So them killing us quicker seems fair enough. But I would still say that it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if they were to pull the plug on the increase to your chest, legs, and arms, in my opinion, and then just leave the headshot down to 150. I think that would be more comfortable, because something that is going to come up for a lot of people is there are now situations where there's even less counterplay than there used to be. Like whenever we watched Thick dive into that laser beam from the Rocket Strider, what was he supposed to do there? He tried his best to avoid being shot by this thing. He dodges the rocket, and then he's instantly dead from the laser guns that just draw a bead on him. The only answer was to just never be there in the first place. And that's, in my opinion, not a fun answer. Like, it's more fun typically whenever gamers have the ability to utilize movement, utilize game mechanics and game sense to avoid damage. And that's what makes the Rocket Striders more interactive than, say, not the Rocket Striders, the Rocket Devastators way more interactive than the Rocket Striders, way more interactive than the Heavy Devastators. You get into a line with a Heavy Devastator, you just die now, like straight up. There's pretty much nothing you can do about it. If you are in that position, you are dead now. You're not walking out of it. You're done.
You know what else I learned?
What is it?
You can't out-heal the Factory Strider turrets anymore.
Yeah, no, not even with Infusion Booster. You're just dead.
Yeah.
You're toast with the Infusion Booster there. You're toast with the Heavy Devastator now, too. A lot of the time, if there's more than one of them, you're definitely toast. And then even the Rocket Striders now, one little volley can just send you to Valhalla now very easily. And it's interesting because all of this was kind of framed as a positive change, when in reality, we're dying faster than ever before. And to couple along with this, they said that the chainsaw damage was increased with the Berserkers. They told us that much, and it was a very significant change. But what they didn't tell you was all of the claw attacks in the game, roughly 25% more damage than before. On top of that. So Helldivers are definitely dying faster than ever, and I feel like that has the counterplay of mobility more or less at an all-time low. I think if I was to really devil's advocate it, I would do the tried and true Arrowhead Classic and just revert the chest, legs, and arms just for medium armor and higher, because that's how they always like to make those more appealing than the light armors by comparison is, well, we'll give headshot resistance to just the higher class of armor, or well, we're going to reduce the amount of damage just these armors take, or we're going to make the multipliers just for these armors better. Because while I am running around in lighter armor, I have the ability to use that mobility to avoid those situations a lot easier than someone in heavy can. If you're in those situations in heavy armor now, you're just dead. Like, because you're not tanky anymore at all. I felt that when I was running around in that gas armor. Like, I didn't feel tanky at all. I felt like I had maybe one extra hit in the tank and I was done. And I had traded away all my mobility for that. So that's my TED talk on the durability changes to Helldivers and why I feel like it's a little bit of a lukewarm change.
Okay.
So I'll play a bit of devil's advocate because you mentioned how they framed it as a positive. What I'll say on that is I don't think they necessarily framed it as a positive. I think they framed it as we're going to buff all your guns, but in return, you're going to be weaker. So I don't necessarily think they framed it as a positive. What I will say is I do like the idea of glass cannon. However, when I was... And Eravin, you were in some of the Helldivers 1 stream. I'm sure you've heard me make this joke when I was playing Helldivers 1. I was saying, and this was like last patch when, you know, Helldivers 2 felt like shit. I was like, in Helldivers 1, we're glass cannons. In Helldivers 2, we're glass. So, like,
yeah,
it's not like we were super tanky last patch, right?
No, definitely not.
And now
like,
we're...
Don't get me wrong. The game is in the healthiest, best state it's ever been. It's the most fun it's ever been by far. This is just like a critique I have of the change and a bit on the wording, because what I mean by framed it as a positive, I mean they were very proudly announcing 50% less headshot damage, but then when you read on, it's like slightly increased arms, legs, chest. This should make damage less spiky. Like it's very PR, that paragraph. And then the reality comes out to you are squishier now. So it definitely doesn't feel like they just blatantly said you are squishier now, which is like what the reality is. It feels very much like I'm not sure if it was supposed to be more of a positive for us than it is, or if they were just kind of trying to make sure they avoided any phrasing or nomenclature that would make people think, oh, this is a nerf, this is a bad thing, and we're going to get mad about this, right? Like,
That's
I can't
fair.
tell which it is because of the way it was written.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, in layman's terms, we take a lot more damage. Obviously, we take what, you said effectively 17% more for the arms, chest, and legs, or does that fluctuate at all?
Generally, compared to before, you take 15% more chest and leg damage, and you take about 17.7% more than you previously did to your arms.
Yeah.
Because arms went from 70 to 85.
Yeah, and we take about 25% less damage to the head. So overall, it's more consistent, but it is consistently that we're just dying, which everyone's felt that.
Consistently favored to die easier.
And then the other thing that some people in chat are saying, obviously, and Eravin said, there's also just straight up 25% more claw damage. Now, do you know if any of the automaton, like guns or projectiles, have increased in damage?
Not the guns, but the Chadbot, Dabbot with the pistol, the Commissar. If he punches you, he hits you for twice as much damage as he used to. Devastators also punch you for twice the damage. Not something that comes up super often, but those guys do swing twice as hard now. They got hands. You don't want to get into a boxing match with them anymore. And the Commissar will actually lay you out, which is kind of hilarious.
Yeah, so if you get smacked when the Devastator frickin' Superman punches you to death, that's also stronger?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about twice the damage it used to be.
Okay, so it just sounds like all melee.
Yeah, generally all melee got boosted.
Bryant with the $5 says, can we push the devs to make the EMS strike be able to stun Titans and Factory Striders? It would be a staple on all my loadouts. Hi, Pips. Hi, Era. And hi, Thick. Bryant, thank you for the $5.
Hi.
We were actually talking about this earlier in my stream. I think the EMS strike, I don't think they could change that without changing the mortar. So maybe that's why they haven't done that yet. What I would really like with the EMS strike, and Eravin would like this too, I know, is if when you call it in, it's like a stealth call in. So they're not even aware of it when you're calling it in. So like imagine if you could just land one on top of a patrol. That would be super cool. And they don't get alerted. Yeah, they don't get alerted beforehand. I think that could be a more interesting change. And maybe that's why, you know, if like, because if they make it allowed to stun Bile Titans, the mortar would probably change too. And that would be insane, and they probably don't want that.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I mean, the EMS mortar kind of does that right now, but inverted. So there isn't really a reason why the normal EMS call-in couldn't do that, in my opinion.
Is it not the same kind of projectile?
Well, like, it's the red ball giving it away. So it's like if you throw an EMS mortar far away from the enemy, the problem is then you can't push the place before the EMS ends. But like a teammate could, for example, like a lot of the time you'll throw the EMS mortar to stun lock a group of enemies, but you won't be able to get in range to do anything about it before it ends, where if you have a teammate, it could. So you can kind of stealth EMS them with the mortar, but you can't do it with a strike. And I feel like you should be able to do it with a strike. Yeah.
I never thought of doing that with the mortar. That's actually kind of crazy. Video Game On with the $5 says, I think things should be balanced like TF2 light classes, or like TF2. Light classes mostly almost get one shot by big hits, gives you a chance to fight back. I agree. I think that, like I said, I actually do like the idea of glass cannon. Because in Helldivers 1, you can feel pretty weak at times when it comes to taking damage. But, like, dude, warriors two-tapping you and, like, medium armor and scavengers taking so much damage and just hunters two-tapping you all the time, it's definitely way less forgiving. And I'll say this, last patch, I had the take that Vitality Booster should be removed from the game so that they could just put that into the game, because the damage felt unfair last patch when you weren't running Vitality. And now this patch with Vitality, it feels like last patch without it.
Yeah,
so
you almost don't have Vitality now, basically, when you do have it.
At the bare minimum, heavy armor just flat out needs buffed. And medium armor also, I'm pretty sure, takes the same headshot damage as light armor, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is super...
No difference there.
Yeah, I think that's really bad as well. And I've been saying that since like patch 2. Whenever
that's because the armors are shit in terms of like there's not a big difference. Like there should be way more difference. There should be customization in a way that I know that's a long term, but like there has to be something to counter all these mechanics that are in the game, man. Like what's the point of running heavy? I know that you can survive a little bit more, but it also slows you down. When I say like what's the point? The headshot damage is the same. Yeah. Why is it now like much more different? It should be much more different.
The amount of mobility you're trading away for that armor is just not justifiable.
Ridiculous. No, not at all.
Yeah. So I feel like at the bare minimum, heavy armor should 100% be buffed. And my feedback would be maybe just look at the smallest enemies doing less damage, like the mobs. Like the general mobs, like even the machine gun turrets on the bot side just freaking kill you instantly now.
Yeah, those instantly drop you.
Yeah, it feels a little bit bad.
I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Grab back.
All right. I mean, I feel like there's not much feedback to leave there. But yeah, so not only are we taking more damage, but also every single melee attack in the game got buffed. So we're taking double more damage in 2 different ways. All right. One other stealth change that happened, I posted this in my YouTube community section. The heads on Devastators got lowered to 100 health, but they now are light armor. So before, Devastator heads used to just be 125 health with no armor. But this change was a buff to, I think, literally only the Liberator Penetrator. Is there another medium weapon that can now 2-shot Devastator heads that used to 3-shot it?
No.
So this change only buffs the Lib Pen from 3 shots down to 2 shots, but it nerfs every single light pen weapon It nerfs every single light pen weapon because it used to be 125 health, but for light pen weapons, it's essentially 155 health. So, for example, how the Liberator just got buffed to 60 damage, or to 70 damage, we thought, you know, when reading the patch notes, now it's able to two-shot Devastator heads, but no, it's still 3. The Defender got buffed to 75 damage. It was able to two-shot Devastator heads before the patch, but even though it got buffed to 75, now it takes 3 shots. So
it's so close too. It's 48 damage per bullet against them.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Verdict as well. So I feel like this change is just super weird because it's only a buff to light pen weapons. Or I'm sorry, it's only a nerf to light pen weapons, and it literally only buffs, I think, the Liberator Penetrator.
Yeah, it feels like they kind of let Alexis out of the box with that one.
And then one other change was charger legs are now light armor. All right, this website is super hard to read. But charger legs are also light armor. And again, my only problem with this is I feel like it's just a nerf to light pen weapons. And I feel like light pen weapons, you know, a lot of people say they aren't good because...
among the weakest in the game, yeah.
Like, they're definitely great for mobbing, but, like, I don't know. Why can't you just shoot a exposed charger leg with a light pen weapon? I don't know. It feels a little bit weird. That change as well. So, yeah. I guess one other thing we can mention is cannon turrets. So, this one, I think, is more of an oversight. So, cannon turrets, a lot of you have been noticing they're a lot harder to kill now. And that's because with the AT changes, they buffed... Wait, that's a heavy fusion cannon. What is that? I think that's the same thing. All right. So they buffed all the AT weapons, and they buffed all the biggest enemies' HP pools. Makes sense, right? Except the back of the cannon turret, the heat sink, has a -1 health. What the -1 means is you're just dealing damage to main. So I feel like they need to change the heat sink. They need to like maybe give it a health pool and then give it lower health than the total. That way you can still shoot it. Another thing with the cannon turrets is they added these AP6 armor zones. And this is definitely an oversight because when you shoot the AP6 zone with a recoilless rifle, it's short by only 20 damage.
It's an oversight, but also it's kind of intended when we consider the cannon turret is literally them taking the top of a tank and putting it on a mount. Because the reason both of these things changed is because the buff that they told us about with the tanks, where they gave it level 6 armor on the front and increased its health, it just got that by association because these entities are the exact same thing.
Yeah, but when I talk about cannon turrets, I know that. So I mean cannon turrets and tanks. So thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, every time I say cannon turret, every time I say tank, I'm basically like referencing both because exactly, they're the same exact thing. They just pulled them off the tank. So
yeah,
it makes sense, but it definitely wasn't mentioned.
So I think that this was meant to actually make it so that the railgun can't kill these from the front because they capped the railgun at AP5. And in the past, they've seemed touchy on the railgun because it could easily become the best bots weapon, right? So I just feel like that this change had some unintended things happen with it alongside of what their intention was. And it's kind of due to this AP6. Also, I find it weird that EAT and Quasar can't one-shot cannon turrets and tanks. Because I do feel like those are also anti-tanks. And with this patch, they talked about making things counters.
Yeah, it's so close too with the Quasar. If the splash of the explosive damage hits the back, it's like 75 damage off even.
Yeah, that's another reason I think changing the heatsink would be nice. To give it its own health pool, because then the EAT and the Quasar could probably do it too. If you shoot the back. If you shoot the back.
AP2, and then it would.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. Alrighty.
I was muted, but I was saying there's still so many good tools though, regardless. I think those little changes can be added for sure with time.
Yeah.
But overall, it's like pretty good right now.
Yeah. Also, I'm saying this in a giving feedback sort of way. I'm not saying this like, oh my God, the game's gonna die if they don't change this. That's what I was doing last patch. Okay, but this patch, I'm happy with this patch. I'm just giving more feedback.
Oh yeah, we're absolutely all giddy about this patch. We're just giving critique and feedback because we know there's another big patch coming up within the 60-day plan.
Yeah. I think they said by the end of the 60 days, right? So I think that's
like
by the
3 days?
third. No. It was the 13th of August. So the 13th of next month is when I'm expecting the patch. But it could be sooner, could be a little later. But that's about when they told us to expect it. Because they said the end of the 60 days. All right, boys, is it time to speed run a tier list?
Let's do it.
Primary weapon tier list. Bunch of people have been coming in my chat and asking me, what are the best primary weapons? Flat out, ton of stuff feels great to use now. Even a weapon, like let's do the Breaker Spray and Pray first. Have you guys used this?
Yes.
We're
We're doing an overall one, right? Overall?
Overall, but we'll mention if something's better against the bugs or the bots. So Breaker Spray and Pray, we're only rating this one for the bugs. Do not take this against the bots. So what do you guys think of the Spray and Pray? Have you guys tried it?
Oh, yeah, I've tried it. Yeah.
Okay,
it's a good side grade to your other options.
Let's establish one thing. What is our like solid tier? Is it B tier? Means it's solid and usable?
I mean, all usable? Like...
So like good, but it's not like crazy. Like our baseline.
Oh, that would be... No, I think B is like, it's okay.
So what's our baseline tier? Like you could take this gun and it's not going to feel bad, but it's not one of the best guns in the game.
Probably lower A.
Can we just do B tier? I think it'll be simple.
Okay. Yeah,
so B tier is going to be our solid tier, right? You can use this gun, you'll have fun, but it's not like, don't expect anything too crazy. So that's where I want to start off. I vote Breaker Spray and Pray in B tier. It is freaking solid now, but it's not like crazy. What do you guys think? What do you guys vote?
Yeah, I would agree. Probably a little bit higher, maybe, because I feel like it's pretty good.
Eravin?
Yeah, I'd probably give it a B. I think it's a B option. I can't justify any bug gun above B tier that has no stagger.
Fair enough. All right, Adjudicator. Have you guys used Adjudicator this patch?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
What do you guys vote it?
Is there like garbage? Oh no, there's no garbage.
Oh wait, we gotta add F tier.
No, bro, doo-doo.
Yeah, doo-doo tier.
Yeah, doo-doo, bro.
Here, I'll do you one better. Doo-doo, dog dookus, ass cheeks, trash tier.
Holy shit. Okay.
Where are you putting the Adjudicator, Pips? I'm guessing this tier.
No. I would say C.
C. Eravin, what do you think?
So there are a couple very important things that went into the Adjudicator getting better this patch.
It's good on the bots. Feels not so bad on the bots though.
Armor being only a 35% reduction whenever you meet the armored class of the weapon has made this gun much better generally across the board.
I was actually going to say that.
It still handles like complete shit. Like I hate the handling on this thing. I hate feeling like I have to run fortified armor just to play with it and have it like shoot where I want it to shoot generally, or like I always have to crouch when I shoot it. I hate that about this gun. But the other important thing is Scavengers got nerfed as far as HP. It now one-shots them. That's way less of a joke than it was before. I'll give it C tier.
C tier? Okay. I'll be honest, I didn't use Adjudicator this patch. I thought it was decent last patch, and I know all the breakpoints got improved by that armor pen change. I probably would have voted B. But we got 2 for C. All right, Blitzer. This going to be our first S tier gun or A tier? What are we thinking,
That's
boys?
an S tier gun.
Okay.
It's an S tier gun. It just is.
Across all? Oh, yeah.
So Blitzer's more of a bug gun.
Yeah. Bug gun, absolutely. But I'm just gonna do grades based on like, if it's S in one faction, I'll give it an S. If it's A in one faction, I'm gonna give it an A. And like I'll say which faction, right? Like I would never bring a Blitzer to bots because the range is just too short. The range of engagement in bots is too high on average for this to feel good.
If it's a bug gun, we're only rating it for bugs. Like Breaker Spray and Pray, it's solid against bugs, but it's fucking dog duckus against bots. So we're giving it solid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Blitzer, S tier weapon, final answer.
All right. Pips?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Honestly, I agree too. Blitzer fucking felt great last patch too. All right, OG Breaker. It's got its 3 ammo back. What do you guys think of this?
Oh, I actually tried this on stream. I'm like, shall we run the old meta, everybody? Should we run Railgun Breaker and see how it holds up today?
And Shield Pack, right?
Yeah, and Shield Pack. And I was running it, and I'm like, wow, I wish I just had the Cookout so things would burn to death when I shot them. I had to shoot like everything twice. It's got no stagger. I think that gun's C tier, even after it got its ammo back.
Worse than Spray and Pray?
Yeah. Unironically, yeah, because I have to
worse.
shoot every enemy twice. Nothing dies when I hit it once, or like just clip it a little bit. Unless you like very directly have a bead on the hunter, it walks it off with one shot. I find myself having to shoot everything twice.
That was not the case for me. And also, there's no universe where it's not better than fucking Adjudicator. For clear.
We can put it in front of Adjudicator. That's fine, but like. The entire time I was like, I would rather just have the Cookout so I could just clip something and it dies.
Oh, Cookout is one of the best guns for sure.
Pips.
It's just like a comparative thing.
Pips, B or C tier? What is it for you?
B. I'm not putting it same tier as Adjudicator.
I also vote B.
We have to take Adjudicator down to D so that we can put Breaker in C.
We could put it above C, but I actually want to put it next to Spray and Pray. I think these are kind of side grades. Breaker, you got to use single target. Breaker, Spray and Pray, you can spray it down. I would say like rate these the same for me personally.
I agree.
Depending on what you want.
Both, yeah, it felt very similar.
All right, Liberator Carbine. I'm starting this one off. Dog, duckus, doo-doo, ass, cheeks, trash.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Eravin?
Pretty true. That's very true.
Yeah, that gun's worthless.
All right, cool. Concussive. Concussive. Does someone else want to start this off? I'm down to.
You can start off.
Okay, Concussive, more of a bug weapon. Against bots, doo-doo, dog, duckus, trash tier. Do not use this against bots. Flat out don't. Concussive, though, against bugs, it's pretty nice, man. Like, it's kind of like an easy mode gun because you just kind of keep everything back. Like, I feel like this is like a fun noob gun. Solid. I still do think it needs a slight buff. But against bugs, I actually think it's solid. I'll literally post a video using this on bugs. It's solid. What do you guys think?
I think it's actually when you're using it, right?
Yeah.
I used it for like 2 hours. It's much better than any of those weapons that are in B right now.
I agree. Eravin, against bugs, Concussive.
I would put it low A, to be honest. I would, but
at the end of the day, this is a gun with stagger, which is the best, most reliable crowd control effect in the game, especially after stun took a hit to the knee. So I don't think I have any problem putting this weapon in B. I think if you're sticking close to your team and they're actually playing around the CC that you're putting out, I would even say it was A. I think if you're playing with Kai's Commandos, for example, I would say it's an A tier weapon.
And also,
like the ammo increase, right? Ammo increase?
Yeah, 60 in the mag. Also good with the gas Warbond. Just saying.
Well, yep. Yeah, true.
This gun actually makes me a little bit sad because they've now told us to our faces they could put drum mags on the Liberators, but they're only putting it on this one.
They should put it on the Penetrator at this point. My favorite primary with my, for fun, gas loadout sterilizer dog buddy build is the Liberator Concussive. Just pure crowd control. It's fun. Like, I honestly think it's that solid. I'm voting A. Eravin, what do you vote?
I'm going to vote B still.
Okay.
I think it's at the top of B, though, because it's a gun with stagger.
Pips, A or B?
A. Lower A.
Okay. So we have Pips on A, Eravin on B. I'm switching my vote to B because I think it needs a slight fire rate buff.
Oh yeah, I always forget. We're not doing both, right?
Just bugs.
Right now on this one, just bugs.
Just bugs.
I would put it on A. Because like the reason is like it's the stagger is strong right now, and the thing is like it got that increased damage, and that magazine increase is crazy, dude. Like you can stay alive with it. It used to be horrible across the board, but like if you actually put that trash in, see like people saying like put that trash in D, Darius, I guarantee you haven't tried after the patch, and it just sounds cool to say that. But when you actually test it out on the highest difficulty, it will keep you alive 100%. And I hated this gun.
I'll literally post a Liberator concussive sterilizer build. I swear to God.
Throw Cookout an A for me for 100% there. Like, it's an A tier gun. It's a great gun. It's got stagger. It burns out every light chaff enemy in the game in one hit. You can even slow cook everything on the bot side. They can't fight back. It's a completely viable bot gun. It doesn't take much skill to use. It's very easy to use. You just click something even slightly and it's neutered. It can't fight back, right? Like, and it burns to death slowly. Cookout's an A tier gun. The only reason it's not an S tier gun is because each pellet does 3 durable damage, and you feel that every time you're up against spewers. You feel that every time you're up against commanders, and yeah, that's all I have to say about the Cookout.
All right,
and I mean, you even feel it now against exposed charger legs, like you pointed out too.
Man, exposed charger legs takes it down a little bit, but I gotta vote Cookout S tier. Okay, my only question is: it above or below the Blitzer? In my opinion, and also I voted S tier because unlike these other like shotguns that are trash tier against the bots, Cookout is freaking solid against bots. Like, it's not S tier against bots. Don't get me wrong. It's probably low B tier against bots. But the fact that you can bring this gun to bots, like, it puts it into S tier for me. Pips, what are you thinking?
I like Blitzer more, like actually way more. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad gun. I think that it's a great gun. It's also a playstyle thing. I just don't enjoy that gun for whatever reason. But having like troubles with higher armored enemies and like also not having the same stagger as Blitzer. Like Blitzer is also a very safe play, right? Like it staggers everything
and it stuns now.
Close to you. Yeah, and it stuns. It's just a thing of beauty, man. So I just like when I know all of those things, my brain just doesn't want to put it next to Blitzer. You know what I mean?
So S tier, A tier. Okay, we got 2 votes for A.
Like, that durable damage for me is really what does it. Because if I take the Cookout out, it's a great gun. It's an awesome gun.
Yeah.
But in my loadout, I do absolutely need to have some kind of answer for medium targets in there because the Cookout ain't it.
That is true.
Whereas the Blitzer, I don't.
That's true. You do got to bring like a crisper to help you with alpha commanders or the autocannon. Best pairing, exactly. Cookout autocannon.
The Cookout has amazing synergies with AP4 weapons, which are great this patch too. But I think because it does need some kind of synergy in the loadout where the Blitzer doesn't need that synergy, that's what puts it a tier below for me.
That's actually honestly a really fair point.
Yeah. Boys, that said, I gotta bounce. I only have like 2 hours to stream, then I gotta go to the movies. My wife is standing with a shovel right there next to the door. She's about to fucking kill me, so I gotta squeeze in a little stream. But you guys do the tier list, and I'll peek in once you get to the end and stay in chat, okay?
All right.
But thank you so much, boys. It was a pleasure. Chat, talk to you soon. And yeah, you guys have a good time. And Eravin, always a pleasure to have you on. My apologies. I just have to squeeze in a quick one. That sounded so fucking wrong.
You want to try that again?
Let me reword that. I'm gonna try to squeeze out a quick one. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. You take care, okay? Love you.
Yo,
boys.
Throw some W's in chat for Pips, and he's gonna be streaming. We'll probably raid the ass end of your stream. Well, we'll be whenever we're done with this tier list. Yo, later, Pips.
Okay. Later.
Later, bro. Wait, let me do that as well. All right. All right, Eravin. Me and you, man. We have uneven votes now. We need a third person to be the tiebreaker. All right, counter sniper. Obvious. Oh, I wish Pips would have stayed around for a second because Pips is because I want to hear the bug opinion.
One that's gonna fight us for this.
Well, no, but I want to hear his opinion on it on bugs. I mean, we could just say obvious bot weapon S tier.
Yeah, obvious bot weapon S tier.
We could just move on from there.
It's probably the best bot gun in the game, in my opinion, now.
Yeah, so chat, keep in mind, this is an overall tier list, but if something is like obviously a bot or a bug gun, we're just going to mention that. We're not going to rate the counter sniper lower because it's a bot weapon, or because it's not a bug weapon. We're going to say it's a bot weapon, and we're going to put it in S. I haven't actually tried this yet on bugs though, so I can't tell you guys. But yeah, we can move on. Crossbow.
Crossbow's S tier now.
Both factions.
I'd say it was A tier last patch. Both factions. I'd say it's S tier now.
Box, you want to come be our third? We need a tiebreaker. We need a tiebreaker. Yeah, Crossbow is the freaking star of this patch. Let's be real. Let's be real here.
It just can't stop winning patch notes. Every single patch is just some massive rework or buff for the Crossbow. It's like 3 in a row
agree.
now. And the gun has only ever gotten better. And every single patch I'm saying, yep, gun's good. Next patch buffed again. Yep, gun's good. Next patch buffed again. Okay. Yeah, gun is great.
100% agree. Box, accept my friend request. I'll get you in as a tiebreaker. Because listen, man, when we're discussing, we need the tiebreaker. All right, Defender. What are we thinking about Defender? I'm starting to think solid on this one.
I would give it solid just because it's still every bit as good as it was last patch against Devastators. Like you said, the breakpoint didn't go up. It didn't go down.
No. It did go down.
Wait, it's 3 now?
It's 3 now. It does.
3 now?
Yeah, you mentioned this. You said it deals 48 damage, basically.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, that actually... I think there are other weapons I'd rather have with my shield than my ballistic shield.
I mean,
I
think
that was
realistically,
the case,
though...
I think 3 shots to Devastator heads, that's kind of... No?
Hello.
What's good, bro? How you doing? Heard you need a you heard you need a tiebreaker.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna be honest with you, the crossbow kind of slaps, bro. That shit's good.
Yeah, against bugs, it only got better. Against bots, did it technically get worse because you're hiding behind a shield anyway?
Well,
it got better.
Honestly, it 2-taps Devastators
3
pretty
taps.
consistently.
3 taps.
Does it 3-tap?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been consistently 2-tapping them myself.
You can also just kill them with the ballistic part of the damage by hitting them in the stomach.
Yeah. It's honestly, man, it's a really good weapon now.
Real quick. Video Game On with the 5 says I didn't like Crossbow till this patch because it got its AoE back. Yo, can we get a 1 in the chat if you've been using the Crossbow this patch? That shit slaps.
If you're not out here using the Crossbow this patch, you're bugging. I'll be real with you.
All right,
I think the Defender just misses every good breakpoint humanly possible in the game.
Oh man,
I'm gonna have to give it C.
Okay, Eravin votes C.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's definitely a C this patch, man. That change to all the different
box chill with the Kermit. Chill with the Kermit. Bro, I can't anymore. I can't take you seriously.
Yes, you can. You can take Kermit seriously. Look, man, that change the Defender was just... It just wasn't it. It just wasn't it. Giving 2 armor to the heads, giving 2 armor to the legs. It just wasn't it. It just hurt the weapon so much for me personally. I didn't enjoy it.
All right, you know what, Box? Chat says let Kermit cook. All right, let's get it. All right, so Eravin votes C tier. Box, what do you vote?
Yeah, I say C tier. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Damn. All right, above or below Adjudicator? Got to be below, because this is medium pen.
Yeah, it's below.
Yeah,
okay.
At least Adjudicator can't deal full damage to the legs.
I think if anyone asked me on any given day if I want an Adjudicator or a Defender, I would say Adjudicator. Yeah. And I don't even like Adjudicator. Maybe Defender's a D for me, actually.
Oh god, that one's killing me.
Actually, Defender's a D for me, I think. I don't think there's any reality I would ever want this gun anymore.
D for Defender?
Did you just move it down? You said C earlier.
Damn.
I know, but like I'm convincing myself just thinking about it like, wow, I actually would rather have an Adjudicator than this thing. That's insane.
I can't let C tier happen, or I can't let D tier happen. It's got to stay in C.
I don't know. He might be kind of spitting. It might be D for
Do you
Defender.
guys use Defender? Defender is actually good against bugs.
Yeah, but like, why not just use the Pummeler though? It shares the breakpoints.
Does it though?
It does.
Pummeler doesn't one-shot scavengers at any sort of range.
It does now though. Every gun does.
Doesn't. Scavengers are 60
health.
and Pummeler does 65. So at like literally 20 meters, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you mean.
I don't know. I feel like that's.
I don't know. That's kind of
a big deal for me. Have you guys used Defender for like the last 6 months.
I tried this patch immediately.
All right, fine. D for defender.
I didn't use it. I didn't use it last patch or this patch, but I did use it last patch, and I was already like pretty middling on it, especially after Pummeler came out.
Look. I'm making us spend way too much time on defender. It's a mid gun.
Okay.
It's a mid gun. All right, Diligence. Diligence got a big buff. It now one taps Devastators. And now one taps Devastators. So it's minimum A tier for one tapping Devastators, having a fat mag, good handling. Have either of you guys tried this gun on bugs?
Yes, it's so fun on bugs. Oh my god, one tapping hunters back and forth. It's just so satisfying, man.
Wait, they still mess that one up. It doesn't one tap hunters at 25 meters.
Yeah.
Well, at 25, man, I'm not fighting hunters at 25 meters anyway.
But if you're fighting hunters up close, a defender's not like a gun you would want to have. But it is good. It like 4 or 5 shots alpha commanders.
Oh my god! I was so surprised how effective it was on alpha commanders. Honestly, I think it's a solid A tier weapon. It's an A tier weapon on bugs, in my opinion.
I'm gonna give it A tier. Not so much just because of the stats and the breakpoints being pretty solid overall, but what really makes this gun A tier is how early a Helldiver has this. With it being immobilized and being unlocked so early in the game. This is such a good gun for how early players can get a hold of it. I think that's not devoid of value. Especially with probably for the first time in a long time, there actually being probably some decent sale numbers again.
I agree. So for what it's worth, I would give Defender like low B tier on bugs, but I give it A tier on bots, and it's solid as fuck. Video Game Mom with the $2 says Purifier should feel like plasma rifle from Space Marine 2. Video Game Mom, did you see? Did Video Game Mom see the buff they're giving to Purifier? Pilestat said it's going to shoot as fast as the Scorcher, but you can charge it for more damage. Now, whether they do it right or not, but there you go. There's the news. All right, Dommy Mommy. It's S tier, but where in S tier? Any thoughts?
It's definitely. I think it's S tier on bots. I'm kind of mixed on it for bugs. It's just kind of been in the same place as it is on bugs as it was last patch for me personally. I think it's just good on bugs. It might. I mean, I guess you could make it work. You know, it might be an A tier weapon on bugs, maybe.
Dominator on bugs is S tier.
Is it S tier? I didn't use it enough.
I think if you facilitate a loadout with the Dominator, it can be really strong on bugs.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
For the longest time, so I'm not going to act like Dominator's better than a lot of other options on bugs, but for the longest time, Flamethrower Dominator was the loadout, and that didn't change.
Yeah.
Like you do have better options. You do have better options on bugs now, like the Crossbow. Or the Blitzer. But, like, if you're running a flamethrower, you want a Bilespewer weapon, Dominator didn't go anywhere.
So I think I'm gonna say the Dominator is an S tier bot gun. As far as bug gun, I would probably the best I could realistically do for the same logic as Cookout, and so there's a couple constraints when it comes to the Dominator. You really want to run peak physique with the gun, otherwise the drag sucks. You really want to run a weapon in your support slot or your secondary slot that can clear chaff, because it's like not the most fantastic hunter killer in the world. If you hit a limb, it just survives miraculously, and that can feel kind of bad. It's definitely like more of a medium killer, medium hunter gun. And I think if I were to grade it solely on that, I would probably put it in B tier, just because it like still has the heavy stagger on bugs. But on bots, it's been S tier, is S tier, will always be S tier, because trading away for peak physique is like the easiest decision you'll ever make with this gun against bots. It one-shot headshots Devastators, always has. It stagger locks and bullies them. It's amazing for that. And I would only say it's below the Diligence sniper now, because the Diligence counter sniper Before, a big selling point of the Dominator was, I don't need to hit the head. I can hit them anywhere and they'll die. And now the Diligence counter sniper is doing that too. It's doing it faster, better like DPS, better control, easier to actually hit repeated shots on the same body part and take out targets through not the head, which is crazy. So I think for the first time ever, I'll put the Dominator below the counter sniper.
All right, so
but both are S tier.
Obvious S tier just for bots, right?
Yeah.
What I will say though on bugs is you're underrating it. It is loadout constrictive. That is true, but it's less loadout constrictive than you think. Last patch, when I was running around in my Space Marine modded armor and I was cosplaying with my Dominator as my bolter, I was literally just using Dominator, Laser Buddy, Bushwhacker, and my support weapon was literally a Quasar Cannon. I was literally using Dominator and Laser Buddy for mobbing, and then Bushwhacker when I needed it. So it still is loadout constrictive. If you're not running a chaff clear support weapon, you definitely need like Laser Buddy and a Bushwhacker, but it's good. It's very solid on bugs. But obvious S tier for bots alone. Eruptor.
Oh man, I'm very mixed on this weapon this patch.
I vote B tier. You guys can go.
There's
I vote B tier.
sometimes where I just love this gun. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. It just cleared a whole group of enemies. I love it. And then sometimes I shoot a Devastator and it doesn't one tap it that one time when I needed it to. I just wish they would just make this thing one tap Devastators. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to do it consistently when I shoot the center mass, but it doesn't. It doesn't do it.
So we're now living in a world where every AT that isn't a Patriot rocket or a Commando rocket is one-shot killing Fabricators from any angle, which has definitely lowered the stonks on primaries that can destroy Fabs through the vents. Eruptor got Shrapnel back, and Shrapnel was buffed for the Frag Grenade, which is what it's kind of derived from. And I've tried this gun on both factions now, and it honestly feels pretty much the same effectiveness-wise as it did last patch. There's not really a whole lot of difference there. If anything, it's just like a little bit more varied. It feels almost like a crit weapon. Sometimes you just get a slightly better result than you were expecting when you shoot it because of the way the shrapnel sprays, right? Like it feels kind of like a crit gun in that respect, where the shrapnel just lands right and it feels just that bit better than it did before. But
like excuse me for a second. Like when you shoot like a alpha commander and then the shrapnel hits the exact right spot and it doesn't just bounce off the freaking ground like it does sometimes and it explodes and it one taps them and you're like, whoa, this weapon's actually good. It's actually pretty fun. And then every other time it just bounces off the ground, bounces off the ground, bounces off the ground, or the shrapnel doesn't hit the exact location that you need it to. It just has those moments, man, where it feels amazing and then it doesn't.
I'm gonna put it. I would really like to see it at the top of B tier. And a lot of that is going to be derived from the fact that the crossbow is basic. Whereas, like, when we started, when both these guns came out, I would have said the Eruptor is fantastic compared to the crossbow. The crossbow is living in the shadow of the Eruptor. Now I feel like the Eruptor kind of lives in the crossbow's shadow. They both do the same kind of thing. They both have the same role. The crossbow is just more mobile, better fire rate. And like I'm not speaking from the perspective of canceling the animation on firing the Eruptor. Like that is the most obviously unintended thing ever. I'm not going to grade it based on its ability to do that. Someone out there can if they want, but I'm not going to. I say it's top of B tier.
If there's any change that I would give the Eruptor, it would be slightly increasing the fire rate by just 15 points of more fire rate, and this weapon, even in its current state, would feel a lot better because it just feels so awkwardly slow. And I will say, as cool as the animation cancel thing is, that should just be the base fire rate for the gun.
All right, video game on with the $2 says
that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Fox, we got to read the donuts. It's pay to win. Video game on with the $2 says I dislike peak physique. What if I want different drip? Video game mom wants wants better
I kinda
handling on
I
weapons.
agree with that.
I can't disagree. Thank you for the $2 video game
Yeah,
mom.
Eruptor is too fat too. Like I don't understand why it feels
yeah,
heavier than
there's that
an
too.
autocannon, which is crazy.
So-
I didn't even consider that, but like you kind of lose a lot of real estate with having to run peak physique with Eruptor for it to feel
So
nice.
Eruptor, I mean, I'll run it without peak physique if it had heavy
Like-
shrapnel. Eruptor only has one spot. Well, it has two spots. It only has one extra spot. You can one-shot Devastators, and that's shooting them between the legs. So you can shoot it on their inner, like, ankle or inner thigh, and it can one-shot them there. And you might be able to shoot the ground between them. So what I liked about the Eruptor was it added weak points. You could shoot them in the armpit. You could shoot them in the pelvis. You could mash it between a heavy Devastator shield in its body, and it could one-shot it. It didn't just flat out one-shot it anywhere in the chest. You had to hit one of those essentially extra weak points. And I don't think it was ever broken. On top of that, heavy shrapnel looks way cooler than the baby back-ass bitch shrapnel it has right now. Okay?
Yeah, I agree. It's so floaty. Like isn't the shrapnel like weirdly slow? Like when it disperses?
I don't know.
It's kind of odd.
I vote low B tier. I disagree with Eravin. You can tell I'm passionate about the Eruptor, right? Box, where do you put it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Thick. I think low B.
Yeah, you can put it
I would-
anywhere
I
you
don't- I
want
don't-
in B.
If the handling was that of the Dominator, I would probably put it above the Concussive. Like high
You know
B tier.
where I will always take this gun though, like every single time without even thinking about it, is bug defense. Because
Oh,
you can
yeah,
just
for sure.
hammer the trigger and every single shot is a kill streak. And that is great. I think that holds it up in my mind, and I would never put it in C just for that.
It's definitely better against bugs this patch than it was last patch, but it feels the same against bots this patch as last patch.
And even also with the bots, you know, Diligence, counter sniper, and crossbow stonks going up, Eruptor stonks go down.
Yeah.
One more final thing about the Eruptor. The most frustrating thing that I have about it when it comes down to bots is Striders. Oh my god. That's all I have to say is rocket Striders with the Eruptor. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
I'm trying to. I think you might be able to one-shot them between the legs. I can't remember if I could.
You can.
Like
but
inner ankle type.
It's really weird to angle it, and then sometimes when you
Yeah.
try to aim, let's say you try to aim at the leg, you'll hit the shrapnel will hit the rocket and blow them up.
Oh, is that what's happening sometimes? Okay, fair enough.
And then say you miss that very specific shot, which is very possible. It's not like
It's
they're a
so easy
slow
to do.
enemy. Yeah, it's not like they're a slow enemy. They move pretty erratically. You miss that shot, the fire rate, it's so punishing to miss.
And then you got to line it up again. The fucking handling kicks in.
All right.
Like it's just,
We got to move on
Let's
from
All
move
that.
on.
right. Firebreaker. I say A tier, below Cookout because of what Eravin's. Well, honestly, side grade Cookout. Let's be real. Because what Eravin's been mentioning is that
you need to
like
give this
this
thing
is
an extra mag.
it's loadout dependent on the supply pack. Like in terms of raw damage against bugs, S tier, but in terms of loadout dependent, A tier.
I want my mags back. I want my mags back, man.
What do you guys think?
I think it's A tier. I don't disagree. It's still good.
It's still good, but it lacks.
But would I use it over the spray and pray though? Would I?
Would you?
I don't know.
I would. Just
You know
because
what?
Burning Dot is pretty based against bugs.
Yeah. Plus, it applies. It
Yeah.
applies that fire at range. Spray and pray doesn't do
I will
that.
put the Firebreaker.
Doesn't the Firebreaker have higher durable too?
Yeah.
Yes, I will put
Yeah, I would
Firebreaker
use the
above
Firebreaker
Spray and Pray and above normal Breaker every day of the week, just because Fire Dot clears chaff. If you even just like tap them ever so slightly with a couple pieces, just a couple pellets is all it takes. Whereas like those two guns, you got to be pretty dead on for it to.
Did this
put
weapon
stuff
really
down.
deserve the magazine reduction? Did it really?
No,
did it deserve
absolutely
it?
not. The fact that I wouldn't have put it in S last patch, or like not last patch, but when it did have 6 mags, I wouldn't have put this gun in S. I would still put it in A. I think it's an A tier gun.
So
I think
I'll
it was
say
an A tier
this.
gun last time. I think it's an A tier gun
Yeah.
now.
I'll say this. I've been saying since my one video a while ago, give the Firebreaker the spray and pray damage and give the spray and pray the fire damage and return the 2 mags. Well, they gave the spray and pray the breaker's damage. And I have a theory, they just didn't want to do a nerf this patch, so they didn't revert this yet.
Yeah.
That's probably
I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
Probably what it is.
I think they immediately they saw the sense that you were spitting when you said, "Why is the spray and pray the ballistic variant of the Firebreaker doing less damage than the Firebreaker? Elaborate." And they were like, "We got no answer for you, King. There's the damage buff."
I think they wanted, I think they wanted to do like that idea because it does just make sense. But they didn't want to have a nerf in this patch, like to the breaker again, to the Firebreaker again. So wait, are we cool with
anything that could even be construed as a nerf?
Yeah. Are we cool with A tier?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm
like
cool with A tier. I think a lot of people like this gun, and even if it isn't my cup of liberty, I can respect the fact that it's a very strong weapon.
Yeah. All right, Knight. Any of you guys try the Knight this patch?
Yo,
I did.
Fun as hell, right? Fun as hell.
It's
really fun.
What do you guys rate it? I mean, I think it's
gun, but is it a good gun?
I think it's solid.
I can't put the Knight above C in my head.
All right, we got one vote for C.
I would put it in C, but I would put it above the Adjudicator because fuck that weapon.
Okay.
I'm okay with this. I second the motion.
Okay, for all these guns, I always go democracy. I let you guys vote, but I want to. Oh, you know what? Chat pointed it out. It does cost extra money.
Pay to win gun.
Dookie doo ass cheeks tier. You got to be.
All right. No. Serious tier list. Okay. So I think this is a solid weapon, honestly, because doesn't it have the highest DPS out of all the primaries? Just pure damage per second.
Yeah.
Mathematically,
actually,
probably, but it's still light pen. So
Yo, Space Trump with the 5 gifted.
Whole lot of DPS for things that you're shooting with light pen.
Yo, Space Trump with the 5 gifted, and he gifted himself.
Shit.
Wait. He gifted himself a membership. Holy shit. Space Trump, you're a legend. Yo, throw some emotes in the chat.
Let's go, Trump. Making the stream great again.
Throw some emotes in the chat. Video Game On with the $2 says Knight is fun, but trash. Yo, Space Trump, thank you. And spam your own emotes. 0 out of 10 tier list, no fish tier. I don't think Knight is trash. I think Knight's solid. Honestly, I was going to say, can we put it in B tier because it's so much fun? Doesn't that give it points?
But it has to stay in. Look, I kind of want to put it in B tier too.
No, for fun value.
But bro, you got to pay for it, man. Like,
right,
that is wild.
I have an
Right,
important question. Whenever this tier
this?
list gets reposted to the official Discord, what's going to make them more mad?
Knight
If it's
and
in
Dog.
B or
Yeah,
C
put the
tier.
Knight in S tier.
Okay, then I definitely stick with my vote. I want it to be C.
Okay, I'm down. What's going on with the chat, by the way? Space Trump only gifted 5 subs, right? It's shown it like 4 times for me. Space Trump, thank you for the 5 gifted.
Recall made it.
Video Game On with another $5 says the recoil change made it a lot more usable. More guns need that kind of change. Yeah, they did buff the recoil on the Knight, didn't they?
I totally agree, man. The Adjudicator, it's such an unwieldy piece of shit. I can't.
Thank you for the $5, Video Game On.
Gun's about to jump out of my hands.
All right, Liberator. Where are we at with the Liberator?
Bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, it's
right
dog
next
shit.
to its cousin.
You might as well put the limp in there too.
All right, we're just gonna do this, right?
Yeah.
Can we just talk about this? I talk about the lip pin.
Do we have to talk about it, or could we just speed run?
It's just a speed run.
You can throw them all in there. We can move on and throw them all in there.
Go ahead, Boggs. Go ahead, Kermit.
The Liberator pin has the same amount of rounds as the Adjudicator. Like, you can't even power creep right. Come on, Arrowhead.
Dude, I cooked with the idea of give the lib pen 100% durable, keep its damage low, but it gets consistent damage against everything. That would make it a true unique option. But instead,
yeah.
the lib pen does enough damage now where if I magged up in the general vicinity of a Devastator's torso, it'll actually be dead probably about halfway through the mag, near the bottom of the mag every single time, whereas it wasn't consistently doing that before.
I think
But does
more
that make me
weapons
want to
need
bring it?
AP4.
No, not really. It still doesn't make me want to bring it at all.
I think some more. Yeah, I agree. Now that Torture is AP4 and it's really cool. So Torture, I understand. I actually vibe with it being AP4 because it is very close range and you set yourself on fire. But like,
Yeah.
I think more I think the Senator could be AP4.
Senator can be AP4. The Liberator Penetrator can be AP4. It can,
I mean, the Purifier
that'll
after
be
the change better be AP4.
It better be AP4.
when it
I've
charges
been playing
up.
with that on my end, bro. That stuff is fun having a primary like that as AP4.
All right, Plasma Punisher. What you guys thinking? Where you want to rate it?
Oh man, I am. You're not gonna like my answer on this weapon. I don't like this weapon anymore.
I'm gonna say S tier bots, which is where I would have put it last patch. I don't think
Yeah, I don't
anything's
like
really
this
changed
weapon
with this gun.
anymore.
I honestly vote A tier. I really liked the Plasma Punisher last patch, but
Yeah.
honestly, I agree with you. For some reason, it just doesn't feel as good anymore.
Like, dude, when you're playing in the bots, you're like, oh yeah, I stagger a Devastator. Oh yeah, I stagger a Devastator. Oh yeah, I killed this chaff. And then here comes everybody's favorite enemy, the reinforced strider, the fucking shit on your
Yeah.
day, and not getting staggered by its shots when it did a patch ago. Like, dude, that is the one thing that holds it back for me on bots. Otherwise, it'll be all right. Honestly, the Punisher, the Plasma Punisher, and the Scorcher, because for some reason they share like the same. Well, I'm not gonna say for some reason they share the same IDs for the projectiles. It seems, and when you change one of them, it changes the damage for both. And I kind of feel like they need to actually make these weapons medium armor penetrating and make them AP3.
What's
and
good
make them feel
about
a lot better.
Listen, the good thing about Plasma Punisher is it can stun groups of Devastators. That's what makes it good. It's not the high damage. It's not the high damage. It's that it's unique in that it can stun groups of Devastators. It's solid against heat sinks. What else? But like it is mid in a lot of ways as well.
So this weapon got a lot better this patch. And I already said it was probably an A tier, S tier gun. And this is my logic. The reason for this is the Plasma Punisher's ability to take on groups of enemies from hard cover, from behind hard cover with zero exposure has always been an underrated factor with this gun. But we are now dying at lightning pace. Like we are dying so much faster this patch. The ability to shoot from cover stonks definitely up. Definitely up. The only thing it doesn't do well, as it was stated, like it's not the best at killing rocket starters, but it can still kill them at all, which is going to be better than most of the guns in the primary slot period. And it's heavy stagger in an AoE. Like
it doesn't stagger.
I
the
stand
striders.
by my vote, but this is a democracy, so A tier it is.
I wish it staggered striders like it used to. It should. It absolutely should. I don't see why they took that away.
Kermit, what do you pick for Plasma Punisher overall?
Yeah, definitely A tier. Definitely A tier. Low A tier, in my opinion.
Okay, I also vote A tier. So Eravin voted S, so we could put it a bit higher up in the A tier.
All right, I can accept that.
All right, Pummeler, solid as fuck against both factions.
I haven't been using this. I don't really got an opinion on it. And I think it's probably still good. Same place as it was before.
Eravin, would you say above or below Plasma Punisher? It is light pen.
So are we voting on this on bots or bugs?
Both.
Or both. All right. So my problem with this gun on bugs is it is still a gun with no stagger, but that stun effect buildup is really fast on bugs, like pretty much instant on most of them. But that stun buildup is certainly not instant on bots anymore, as we talked about.
No. Have you used it since last patch?
Did they fix it this patch?
Yeah, they fixed it. It's 3 shots on Devastators consistent.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's A then. Sure.
Okay.
That was my only grievance with the gun is like, why is this not stunning things?
Above or below Plasma Punisher?
I think they're two different.
But in the tier list, where would you put it?
I'd put it probably by its side because it's the same logic, right? Like you can hide behind a ballistic shield with this. We're dying fast. It keeps you alive longer to use weapons like this. Plasma Punisher does the exact same thing, keeps you alive longer because you can shoot from cover. This gun keeps you alive because it stuns enemies and you can shoot behind a ballistic shield.
All right.
I think they're side grades with each other.
All right. Yep. Fair. I'd put them next to each other too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fox said he didn't use it this patch either, but he assumes it's the same. It is pretty much the
telling
same.
Me it's actually stunning Devastators again. That was my only issue with the gun after that change.
The Devastator head change didn't affect this gun. It was 3 shots. It's still 3. Well, actually, it was 2 from close. To be fair, it was 2 from close. All right, Punisher.
I mean, it's just solid. It's not a bad choice to bring.
I also agree it's solid as fuck. First of all, bug faction gun.
Yeah, you would never use this on bots. Absolutely not. This is dookie doo-doo tier on bots.
In terms of bug faction gun, I would put it above the Diligence, but below the fire weapons.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's a heavy stagger primary. It's a heavy stagger primary, and it's literally the first thing you unlock in this game. And everyone that starts this game is immediately playing a ton of bugs. So, like, this gun's a no-brainer A tier for me, where it's just like, you start the game, you immediately probably love this gun now. Maybe you didn't love the gun because you started playing the game back 7 months ago, and it didn't have all of the stagger and goodness that it has now, but I guarantee if you start up the game now, you probably rock the Pummeler, or not the Pummeler, the Punisher for quite a while on bugs until you get other options available.
Yeah.
So I think just like the new player friendliness, accessibility, and the fact that it's a heavy staggering weapon that dumps on bugs makes it A tier.
Punisher is not the worst gun ever on bots, but you definitely don't want to bring it. Also, for anybody joining chat, this is an overall tier list. However, if a gun is faction specific, we're not going to rate it low, like Counter Sniper. This is the one of the best, if not, well, Crossbow is probably the best bot weapon. But Counter Sniper is the second best bot weapon. We're not going to rate it lower because it's bad on bugs. So this is an overall tier list, but if it's faction specific, we say that.
Yeah, the only way this tier list could be any more accurate or like worthwhile information, in my opinion, is just like if we had little stickers to give them, like a bug sticker and a bot sticker, so that we could clarify visually.
I think as long as we set that rule out, people should be able to know that. Like everyone knows this is a bot weapon. Everyone knows these are bug weapons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, Purifier confirmed getting buffed.
We don't
let's
need
just
to talk about it.
Yeah, it's getting buffed next patch.
It's getting buffed.
Yeah, this is what I really want to talk about right now.
Scorcher?
Yeah, I really want. Dude,
Scorchers felt iffy recently. Kind of like the Plasma Punisher.
Scorcher's way lower. It's B tier now. It is. And
I remember when Scorcher was like all we had on bots back in the heyday. And it was the only good bot gun that you could get your hands on. Everyone was so excited to finish Mobilize so they could get their hands on this thing. And it's just, the world is such a different place now, isn't it? Where I'm saying that this gun is B tier.
I'm so confused what changed about the Scorcher, because didn't this gun feel significantly worse whenever they changed the charger legs? Like, what did they do to armor that patch? We really don't know.
I don't know.
Or something, right? Something.
It had a stint. It had a patch where it was like 12 shots, 13 shots to down a Devastator to the torso suddenly, where it was like 7-8 before. I don't know what that's about.
It's probably related to when they started trying to change like the armor penetration on it.
But I feel like the Plasma Punisher didn't change. It was the same. That's what's weird about it.
Yeah. Well, for me, what really brought this weapon down was the addition of the new enemies.
Maybe. Yeah, that could be what it is.
Like Striders absolutely got this fucking weapon. You hate yourself when you use this because it takes you almost a whole mag just to kill one, and it's crazy when you only have 6 you only have 7 in reserve. You're stuck spending all your rounds on a single target. You have to hit it in the leg, because if you don't hit it on the leg and your damage goes everywhere, you don't kill it fast enough. It's just, this weapon, in my personal opinion, needs like 2 more mags, maybe an extra mag.
All right, I have
And-
one question about Scorcher though, and
What's
that
up?
is, how the fuck have you been doing this Kermit accent this entire time?
I've been doing this for a long ass time, bro.
Bro's just living life as Kermit now. Anyways,
Yeah.
where in B tier do we put the Scorcher? Top, bottom, middle?
I think a bit. Honestly, I'd probably put it under the Eruptor. I'd rather use the Eruptor over it at this point.
Yeah,
I
I'd
actually don't
agree
like
with
the weapon that much.
That's actually exactly what I was thinking. Was if someone asked me the question, "Do you rather have an Eruptor or a Plasma Scorcher at any given moment right now, in this economy?" I'd probably say I'd rather have the Eruptor.
Scorcher needs more ammo. It needs to actually be AP3, and it needs just a 50 more fire rate for me to stop feeling like, honestly, either 50 or give it full auto, because I'm sick of clicking. Give me a full auto Scorcher.
I think Scorcher
Arrowhead,
and Plasma
Give me a
Punisher.
full auto Scorcher.
I
And
think-
my life is yours.
I think Scorcher and Plasma Punisher both need like a small damage buff, like 25 to 50 more damage AoE.
Yeah,
I think
can
that's
see that.
probably a fair take with how they've just given the crossbow 300 explosive damage for funsies.
Yeah, for real.
What I
It
will
is
say-
a little bit weird when you put these guns up against that one now, isn't it?
What I will say
Yeah.
about the Scorcher is it is the best gun on this list to kill stuff like Charger Butts. It 9 shots Charger Butts and has a fast fire rate compared to like Crossbow. Crossbow,
Man, could you imagine if it was
and
full
3
auto, man?
Crossbow probably is better in terms of heavy enemies at this point, let's be real. But Scorcher is still up there. I can't say that it's not. It's not going below B for me. For anyone in chat saying go to C.
I think it's
No,
insane
I would not
how
put
the
this weapon
Scorcher
C.
has
This is
only
not C tier.
ever... Yeah, I can't put it below solid because it used to be like the best bot gun in the game, bar none. Nothing was even close to it. And it's only ever gotten worse because other guns have gotten better. It's never once gotten any worse on its own merit. It's only ever gotten worse because we
Yeah.
have so many other options and so many better weapons at the things that it's good at. It's still just like a Swiss Army knife gun. And I think that's B tier worthy on its own.
So
Yeah.
what I'll say, Mirido, is that 0 guns feel good to shoot against Rocket Striders, except for like the railgun and the AMR.
That is
Crossbow-
very true.
Crossbow
Easy,
does
yes.
Crossbow does 2-shot the Rocket Striders. The only reason it doesn't feel good is because it does have a slow
There's
fire rate,
more perks.
but that's more
Video
of a
game
Rocket
mom.
Strider problem. Video
You
game
just-
mom with the 5 says armors need more perks, by the way, especially the damn specialized one. Everything should have 3 perks to make it more universal. Yeah, 100%.
You are spitting. You are spitting.
We talked about that. All the resistance armors just need to be 100%. Arc, fire, gas. And if they're not 100%, why don't they have a second perk? It's so weird.
Yeah, we need a second perk with them. Honestly, I want more fun stuff. I want more fun ways to play.
All right, Scythe.
This weapon is actually pretty good. It's actually not that bad. I just wish that the scope wasn't absolutely jank as fuck right now.
They're fixing the scope. They're going to let you have variable zoom.
I don't know where I would put it though. I don't know if I would put it like B tier or A tier. I actually really like this weapon now.
I want to vote it B. I think it's a bit more of a bot weapon. It actually kills all
Yeah.
the small bugs really fast now. It sets them all on fire. It just doesn't have stagger. So it's really not the best bug weapon to bring, if we're being
Yeah.
honest.
I'd
Yeah, I agree.
probably give it a B as a bot weapon.
Yeah,
I think the immediate the way I look at this is we gave the Diligence normal and A tier because it head pops Devastators in one bullet. The Scythe
Yeah.
really isn't too far behind that. It's not
Yeah.
instant action, but it does cook the head pretty quick and, no recoil on top of that. I would say it's just a solid gun. Like, you're going to pop heads with it. Things are going to die almost instantaneously. You'll probably be happy with your pick every time you bring the Scythe into a bot game.
If we're talking about bots, I would put it above Diligence because it notably insta-kills all small bots.
Yeah, that is
it,
a pretty
it-
big
it-
deal.
yeah,
Another thing is
it-
you can
it
see
does.
exactly where you're pointing it to, so it's like ease of use factor there too. But there's also like I don't know. I'd say they're pretty.
the no
close.
recoil makes it really nice for just picking off so many small baby bots.
I would still always say like probably top of B.
I
But
think
I think it's gonna end up in A. by democracy.
So listen. If we put Scythe in top of B, we have to move Diligence down below it. Because
I think
that's
it deserves a B and A. I think it deserves a B and A.
like,
but they are still
You've
right next to
me.
each other though, right? Because like Diligence is
they're
bottom of
basically
A
kind
and
of-
Scythe
they're-
is
they're-
top
you
of
know what?
E.
Fine. So
They're-
I think that these
You know what?
guns
They're
are side
shaking
grades.
hands.
I think that these guns
They're
are side
shaking hands.
grades. You get a slightly slower Devastator kill in the Sickle, but it insta kills all the small bots. It's infinite ammo. And both of these guns against bugs can work, but you don't really want to bring them.
Okay, you convinced me. I'll join you, and
Let's go.
I'll put it up
Let's
next
go,
to
Irvin.
Diligence
Let's
and
go,
A.
baby.
I think they're side grades personally. All right, Slugger.
Do I even have to talk about this fucking weapon, man? I hate this weapon.
I want Eravin to talk about the Slugger.
So I don't like this gun.
You do?
I don't like this gun.
Oh, okay, cool.
Bro, put it in doo-doo, man.
You were
feels
about to shock me.
It feels really weird how they've monkey's pawed this gun with like the weird pseudo accuracy nerf, but given it back its stagger, and it's really like unjustifiable. It should have been a straight up buff. Like, why is it not a straight up buff?
They literally gave it
can't-
random spread.
So
I can't, in my wildest dreams, put it below the Adjudicator though. So I would say C tier above Adjudicator.
you can't put it below Adjudicator. I think this gun
Irvin,
is bad.
I might have to fight you on that one. The Slugger, man. The Slugger is way worse than the Adjudicator by far. At least the Adjudicator, even though it jumps out of my hands, will occasionally hit my target.
I
The
will
Slugger
never...
It's like me rolling a dice every time I shoot because the weapon has random spread because they decided they'd increase the spread on the weapon and make it act like the Punisher when it's a weapon with a single pellet. It makes no sense. Like
I
Arrowhead.
think.
Why?
My
Yeah,
line in
I
the
knew Video
sand-
Game Mom was gonna donate because she hates the Slugger now. Full fucking revert it. No, Video Game Mom. Not only did this gun never deserve a nerf, it should have been buffed.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like-
This weapon should do 300
Yeah,
damage.
it should never have caught a nerf in the first place. But where my line in the sand is I cannot give a weapon with heavy stagger. If we're talking about the merits of Cookout in bots,
No, Cookout's
No,
better than Slugger in bots.
it is.
Absolutely.
But the reason
That's the
that
craziest
it's
thing.
up there in bots at all is because of heavy stagger. We can't say a gun with heavy stagger
dude, you
is
can't-
doo-doo dog tier. It's just not real, especially medium.
How are
Okay,
you gonna hit
but
your target?
medium.
Cookout can heavy stagger multiple bots from range.
Yeah. Like this gun is not the bottom of the barrel though. Nothing with heavy stagger is. That's just not
Bro, every
real.
bullet misses your target, bro.
I'll give you D
so
tier at best.
Range and the gun shoots behind you. That's how bad it is.
All right, democracy wins. What do we vote, Box? What are we voting? What are we voting? Eravin votes C. What are we voting, Box?
Yo, D at least. I will compromise on D.
All right, fine. All right, Sickle. I say
Yeah, it's solid. It's good.
I
It's not
say above the Diligence and the Scythe because of the
Yeah.
both factions thing. It's good against both factions.
Yeah, and it lighting things on fire now. Like I really love this weapon for both factions. It's super fun.
Wait, we got two donos. Space Trump with the 5. Slugs can't melt steel fences. That's right. Yo, quit spreading conspiracy theories, Space Trump. Mark with the 5. My favorite bot gun is the AoE stagger of the Purifier. I have bad aim. I can't use the Dominator. Mark, good news for you. They are buffing the Purifier next patch. They already have it in their dev build.
Mark.
Yeah, good shit, Mark. Good shit. Yo, throw some hype up in the chat for those donos. Thank you, Trump, and thank you, Mark. Appreciate you guys. All right.
Let's go.
So
Start
I
liking the
say
stream great once more.
I say Sickle definitely better than Diligence and Scythe for the both factions thing. I also say above Punisher. What are your guys' takes? I would put it here.
What? Well, like for bugs, I personally would take the Punisher, but I can see your point. I can see it. They're like
I would never in my wildest dream take the Sickle over the Punisher in bugs.
Okay.
because the delay firing it is just going to get you killed, and then not having stagger is going to further get you killed. And I don't think there's a single sickle user out there that can argue with me that the wind up on this gun has never gotten them killed in bugs.
It's got me killed plenty of times. Absolutely. Hunter conveniently jumping through 4 forklifts over 17 skyscrapers to scratch my back. Yeah.
I can compromise that this gun is probably B tier, but I definitely don't like this gun. I feel like the wind up is really dramatic. For like, I want immediate action. Why do I want to wait for my gun to fire ever? Like, I'd rather have the Scythe. I'd rather have.
That's kind of the nature
just
of
kill them
laser
instantly.
weapons,
Point it at the target. Kill the target instantly. That's how I feel about the Sickle, and it doesn't stagger anything. So this gun's like B tier at best for me. I would even maybe say C tier, but
Scythe
the
doesn't
Adjudicator's
stagger.
down there, and I'm not putting the Sickle. I'm not putting the Sickle below the Adjudicator ever. No, the Scythe doesn't stagger, but it's like more immediate action.
Well, in that case, I guess we can take the Sickle and put it behind the Diligence, I guess, or maybe next to it.
What do you vote, Box?
Yeah, I see Irvin's point. I can see his point. I think it's like low A. I can see his point.
And Eravin, you said C tier, but above Adjudicator?
No, B. I said B.
Okay, I vote A. So between all those, I would say we would put it roughly at bottom of A, top of B. These are inconsequential swaps.
Yeah.
All right, Torture.
Oh man, I love this weapon.
S tier, right?
I love this weapon on bugs. This is S tier on bugs. I love this weapon though.
Yeah, bug specific.
So fun.
It's low-key good against bots, but obviously it's not because it's only close range. But if you get within close range, it will kill the bots. You can kill a Hulk with this.
And if I run out of ammo, I could switch to my other flamethrower.
But bug only. What's your guys' thoughts? I say S. I would say above Blitzer on bugs. Personally.
I don't got much to say about it. It's good.
Where would you put it, Box?
Now put that baby in S tier, baby.
But like,
where?
I'm
not
straight up in S tier on bugs.
Okay.
I would still like. If you asked me, would I rather have the Torture or the Blitzer on bugs, and I'm not allowed to bring a single other thing in my loadout,
You would say Blitzer.
I would probably say Torture.
Oh, okay. No.
Because,
But
I need to be able to kill. I need to be able to kill like chargers, right? But like the fact that I can bring other weapons along with me puts the value of the Torture below the Blitzer for me, because I feel like the Blitzer does generally a better job at keeping chaff off of you than the Torture does. Every once in a while you'll get that jumpy hunter that still gets a leap on you while he's burning and then immediately dies.
Eravin, let's
short
be
range,
honest.
right? They're really short range.
I
think
honest.
the Torture is an S tier gun though. Like it is an S tier gun, but I'm not putting it above the Blitzer.
No, I was gonna say, let's be honest. It's not an occasional hunter that gets through. It's pretty.
It's like every other, yeah.
Yeah. It is pretty frequent.
Hunter, yeah.
But like this has an AP4 primary, and like it melts so many different things. You can set up firewalls; it'll kill anything that walks through them. The magazine is super deep, and even if it's not staggering enemies, the DPS is now like kind of high enough to the point where that's not really too big of an issue. I think if you play around its strength, it's like an S tier gun now.
I feel like Torture has very defined strengths and very defined weaknesses.
Yeah,
and like for that reason, I like the design of it as well. Like I'm totally cool with that.
The way this weapon makes me play is like I barely utilize melee that much other than like Punisher when I'm using Punisher or whatever, and this weapon just makes me want to use melee consistently, and I love that about this weapon.
I'm cool with putting it below Blitzer, by the way. It's just S tier for me.
Yeah. I won't fight the S tier allegations with this gun. I think it has, like you said, it's got very defined weaknesses, it's got very defined strengths. And I think someone will probably find this gun to not be S tier if they're not playing around those strengths. Like if you never, with how deep the canister is on this thing, think to set up firewalls and stuff to make bugs walk through it, and you only ever shoot them directly with it, I don't think it's an S tier gun. But I think if you're playing around those strengths, that this gun is quite a lot better than it was last patch.
No, man, let's not even talk about how bad this weapon was last patch.
No, yeah, and they gave it like the DPS that we wanted for it too. They give it freaking AP4.
What it deserved.
Like, I think the fact that it's the only AP4 primary, like, that's why I say above the Blitzer.
I think it's just crazy that we're finally in a world where they caved and gave an AP4 primary. They fought so hard to keep primaries out of AP4, and then finally they give up on the Flamers. Like, how in the world did Purifier not get in as the first AP4 primary? That's
what I'm saying.
That is
what I'm
crazy.
So basically, S tier, somewhere around the Blitzer. I mean, we all agree on that.
Yeah. I can live with that.
All right, I see
What's
a
the last
fun
gun down there? The Tendy?
Wait, I also see a fun idea in chat. Someone said put the Stalwart on here because let's be real, it's a primary. All right, I think it would be fun to rate the Stalwart as a primary.
Let's rate the Stalwart as a primary because it is a primary.
All right, Tenderizer, minimum B tier, minimum. Against bots, probably A tier, probably very similar to these three weapons.
This weapon doesn't really change.
I think
that
it's
much
the
for
best assault rifle. Do you guys agree or disagree?
Against
yeah, it is.
Against bots. So like if we're talking in general, Scythe and Sickle are better because they have better play against the bugs. But if I'm just taking one of these three guns against bots, I want the Tenderizer out of those three.
I agree. Yeah, I agree, man.
Where would you guys
the
place
accuracy
it
on the
specifically?
Tenderizer, how fast it tears off fucking Devastator arms. It just
It's got really good TTKs all across the bot front if you're aiming it at good spots.
Where would you guys put it specifically?
I would put it above Sickle and Scythe.
Yeah, I would too.
I'm cool with that.
And possibly even Diligence, but like Diligence has the one tap breakpoint, so
yeah, I think if we're talking about pure bots, then
the Tenderizer is better at killing the little bots though than the Diligences, because you can just kind of spray across them.
And it just has more ammo. So I think if we're talking specifically bots, these are nearly side grades. Because let's be real, this is kind of a marksman rifle as well. Against bugs, Tenderizer's better. So if we're doing an overall tier list, should we put it above the Diligence? Because this is better against bugs.
Yeah, that's true.
And they feel nearly the same on bots, right? Like they're kind of side grades.
Yeah, because the Diligence might have that one-shot lower breakpoint for the heads on the Devastators, but the Tenderizer has better DPS for killing through the stomach on Devastators, which is not to be discounted. And the Tenderizer is better at killing groups of light bots too, because it's an automatic weapon.
Doesn't a Tenderizer stagger hunters on bug side?
I don't know. Didn't they? I think they increased the stagger.
I'm pretty sure the Tenderizer is always staggered hunters.
If you shot a leg off, if you shot a leg off, it staggers it.
It's just a little bit crazy what 10 recoil does to an assault rifle, isn't it? Whenever you combine it or compare it to the doo-doo dog tier right now, and you think about what's the difference between those guns, what's the difference between that and the Tenderizer, the breakpoints are pretty similar. Tenderizer is typically like one shot better on the breakpoints, but having only 10 recoil, the gun just feels so much better to use than a basic Liberator every day of the week.
I don't know, man. I kind of like the Liberator carbine personally. Skill issue.
Can we make one more change to this tier list?
The crossbow really is in its own realm right now.
Can we? Eravin, are you okay with this? We need a full unanimous decision. Everyone's okay with this?
Yeah, I'm chill with it.
All right, cool. All right, Stalwart.
If it'll go towards making them stop buffing a gun that's already great and just leave it as it is for a patch, I actually want to challenge them and see if they're willing to just stop buffing the crossbow.
For the love of God, stop touching the crossbow. It's fine now.
Fine.
It's fine now, man.
All right, Stalwart as a primary weapon. Where would we put this?
I'm confused. Are we talking about like as a primary weapon?
As a primary, if it was
current ability,
yes.
Like being able to swap fire modes, 250 in the magazine.
So if you simply just put Stalwart in the primary slot, currently as it is, where would you guys rate it?
I'd
S-
put it
S tier.
A. I'd put it A above Tenderizer, below Punisher.
Really? No,
Yep.
you're tripping on that one.
Nope. I
Nope,
would.
nope,
When I run the crossbow on bugs, I wish I could just bring a second primary instead of bring this gun for chaff clear. Unironically.
For bugs, it's got to be S. Ervin, are you there?
Yeah, no,
Your camera cut off.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Wonder why.
Okay, so I was gonna say stalwart S tier for bugs, pretty doo-doo tier for bots. But
Yeah,
I would put it
it's S tier for
bottom.
bugs.
I would put it bottom of S tier for bugs. I think, well, keep in mind this is an overall tier list. So like, counter sniper, dominator up here for bots. But like out of these 3 weapons, I don't know, man. I feel like hold on, let me get Eravin back. I feel like
Ervin, come back.
Eravin, I feel like you say you would put this below Punisher for bugs, but if this was truly in your primary slot, dude, wouldn't this be insane?
I'd rather
This weapon
have
would
the
be
cookout.
crazy if it was a primary weapon.
I'd actually rather have the cookout. Like every single time, I'd rather have the cookout.
Bro, 1,000 RPM? Are you bugging?
Like I shoot
in the magazine.
I shoot like
Oh my
50
goodness
bajillion bullets
gracious.
downrange at the bug swarm. I shoot the cookout at it twice and they're all dead. Same result, except the cookout keeps me safe from stalkers.
Chat, do we think the Firebreaker without the 2 magazines gone is better than the
You gotta bring
Stalwart?
you gotta bring a secondary for it. Bring a bushwhacker.
Okay, so I think below the Punisher is crazy, Eravin, but I do think below the fire weapons wouldn't be so crazy to make that argument.
If you put
Yeah,
it right between the
see that.
cookout and the Incense Breaker, I'd be all right with that.
Like, Incense Breaker did the job of the Stalwart, did it not?
Yeah, it did. It
Did it
absolutely
not?
did.
It does.
But
It's
the
like
Incense-
the same thing.
The Incense Breaker even kills Chargers' butts faster, I'm pretty sure.
It was basically, I mean, it's basically at the time when nothing was really that good, the Firebreaker was effectively a support weapon in your primary slot, considering that the Stalwart was a support weapon. Man, I need my Stalwart primary, man. Just give it to me. Take me back
Jesus
to the good
Christ.
old days.
Dude, we did a 3-hour podcast. Dude,
Huh.
these tier lists take
Yeah,
a
look
while.
at that.
They
Yeah,
do.
I guess so.
All right, so final vote on the Stalwart. What we thinking, boys?
I'm a compromise. I'm gonna say A tier.
A tier, Eravin?
Yeah, right between those 2 guns, that's exactly where I look at that gun and think, yeah, that makes sense. You can
Okay.
give me an infinite supply of bullets, but if those bullets aren't doing much, I mean,
The
I'm not
podcast is
enthused.
Kermit the Frog.
Anyways, so this is just proof they should just make the Stalwart a primary. I had a good idea. What if you could call down the Stalwart as a stratagem? Or no, someone in chat gave me this idea, actually. But you could replace it for your primary slot. Would that be cool?
Oh, like it took a stratagem slot, but it took your primary when you picked it up? That'd be cool.
Yeah. And you could call
That
it down
would
for
be-
your teammates once you get more.
That
Yeah,
would be really
that-
interesting.
That is probably the most sensical change for it, in my opinion. And it would also make it actually unique instead of just MG number 4 or MG number 3.
Yeah, MG fodder.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
This thing is like practically the Liberator of the MG line right now.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right, boys. This is our tier list. This was overall for both factions. However, if you see a gun like Counter Sniper that's in the S tier, obviously this one's a bot weapon. If you see Firebreaker up in the A tier, obviously this is a bug weapon. Blitzer, bug weapon. Dominator, more so bots, but still good on bugs. Torture, bug weapon. So, like, this is an overall tier list, but, like, if it's obviously one of the factions, we didn't rate it lower just because it's worse on the other faction. Like, I'm not going to put Counter Sniper into C tier because it's bad on bugs. I'm just not. You know what I mean? So, this is an overall tier list. But if it's one faction sided, use your common sense. And I think this is pretty solid. I'm sure some people could disagree with some of these spots, but keep in mind this was also a democracy vote. Like, you know what I mean? Even we disagreed with each other on some of these weapons. We had to kind of compromise where to put them. And also, like anything that's B tier plus is just straight up good. Honestly, I think even the C and D are more usable. These are the only guns I think are bad, and even some people like these guns. But yeah, it is what it is.
Calling the Slugger usable is high praise.
Okay, but I would put the Slugger here. You guys voted D tier. I would put the Slugger here.
I will put it there too, but you know, I gotta compromise with Eravin over here, man.
It's got stagger. We'll keep it in D. So I feel like this is a solid list. Even some of the other lists we've made that we voted on, I've disagreed so much. But this one, I think this is solid. I'm screenshotting this list.
I like this list.
I mean, looking at this list too, like I feel as though any hardcore fan of any of these guns could probably argue with us for an hour and get it raised a tier.
Yeah,
because just about everything in this game is in a usable or generally like workable state with the right loadout, with the right team, with enough time on the gun. Like pretty much every gun in the game is performing to some degree. It's not going to feel like complete. A lot of the guns, and actually, like this applies to even the lowest tier right now. In a vacuum, they don't feel that bad. But when you start putting a lot of these guns next to each other, that's how they end up in the lower tier. It's not so much that they like feel so incredibly bad to use on their own. It's that in your mind, you compare them to the other guns in the game. In a vacuum, pretty much everything is workable right now, at the very least.
Okay. All right. Somebody. Look, my guy Raphael. Look, my fellow red-haired man wearing Ninja Turtle. You have to understand the Liberator carbine, and the standard Liberator are not really that bad of weapons. It's just that once you start playing the game, they kind of fall down because of all the other things you have access to. Like,
it is what it is.
You absolutely can use the Liberator on bugs. You absolutely can. You won't be you'll be gimmicking yourself a little bit, but at least you'll be having fun. Purifier is just a bad weapon, though. That's actually just bad right now.
Well, Purifier's getting confirmed buffed, so it just deserves to be at the bottom on that fact alone. It's going to be better next patch, no matter what you think about it.
Bro, and the next time I ever come on this podcast, you got to put Kermit the Frog there. I got to get a perk Kermit the Frog PNG. That'd be hilarious.
Well, dude, you dropped in out of literally nowhere.
That's true. I wasn't prepared for it.
All right, boys, that's going to be it. This was a long podcast, our longest one yet, 3 hours. That's what happens when you make a tier list with 50 guns. But thank you guys for coming out. Eravin, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Always a fun time.
Kermit the Frog, thanks for being our fill-in for Pips, because Pips had to go stream.
Yep, he had to squeeze a quick one out, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, buddy.
That he did.
He did say that. I can't blame you for that. He did say that.
Nope, someone clipped that, and that is definitely something he said. We can watch it back and confirm it.
And we're going to go raid Pips. So click the YouTube link in the chat to go chill with Mr. Pips. He's gaming right now. Probably doing something interesting. He made his own primary tier list where he will go much more in depth. I think he's posting that video today. I also have a video coming out in about a half an hour. So make sure you got notifications turned on my channel. It's scheduled to go out in a half an hour again. But for now, go chill with Mr. Pips. We're also going to auto raid him, I hope. YouTube raid been being funky for me lately.
Yo, Dick, can I say one final thing?
Okay, Kermit the Frog, go ahead.
Let me just say, this is a wonderful state of the game. I'm very happy that they are finally taking the L on the chin and making good changes. We got to be positive about this, boys. All right? We can't keep beating a dead horse. They're trying to listen. Let's keep giving them feedback and don't be toxic about it. I love you guys.
Kermit the Frog loves you. He says be positive and have a good hell diving life. At least for the average of 15 minutes that Helldivers stay alive. But all right, boys.
Glaze hard as hell, Angry Gamer.
Yeah, don't glaze too hard, though, but they did do a good patch, and as long as they keep it up... honestly, my take is I want to see the next patch and the patch after that, and then I'll start glazing.
Yeah, I mean, just keep giving honest feedback. Honest feedback is how we got this far.
Yeah, honest feedback is how we got this far. But they did a good enough patch that I won't be negative as fuck anymore. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right, boys.
Sorry, geez.
Go say hi to Mr. Pips for me. See you guys later.